Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Everybody have a good weekend? Man, I tell you what, I worked my butt off over the weekend. And just because of that, me and Taylor has been seeing a lot of each other, so don't get the wrong idea. We're just friends. All right, y'all. Please welcome to the show the friend of the show, Taylor Hughes, and Miss Hannah Wright.
Howdy, howdy.
How's it going, y'all?
Good, David. How are you doing?
I'm tired.
Me too. I'm still trying to recover from our festival fun.
Jeez.
I'm telling you, I come home, 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I laid back in that recliner, and I turned on an old classic, American Graffiti.
Oh, okay.
And I passed out before the blonde and the T-Bird came up.
You're like, nighty night.
I was gone, man.
I wanted to come home and sleep, but then I was drug off to a graduation party. So,
Oh, God.
you know what? That's fine. I can party. I can hang.
As long as you got makeup, you're good.
Exactly. As long as I was able to fix myself up before I had to go out in public because I was looking rough. we were up till 4 a.m. singing songs. And
I know. I kept waking up, and y'all was still going at it. And I was like,
I was like, if anyone is trying to sleep right now, they're not. It's just not happening.
me and your dad was talking about that the next morning. I was just like,
oh no, I felt so bad, but they were like, let's do this. And I was like, okay. And like, it just kept going and it got to like 3:30 and I was like, I love y'all, but I'm tapping out. I was like, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta drive home tomorrow. Like,
damn. What you been up to, Hannah?
Well, man, apparently I've been missing out on everything, but I'm glad I got to be the connection here.
Well, after me and you was talking and everything, and I went and seen Taylor up at Bowling Green. I shot you an email and said, you want to go?
I know. Well, it was like, because it was, I think, that weekend, and I no telling what I was doing and where I was up to, but I know. I love watching her. I called her a little later on, but she said that y'all got to know each other, and next thing I know, y'all be besties.
I did. I texted her. I said, I was, I was
great.
with him all weekend. And she's like, what were you doing?
I said, can you please explain the nature of that comment? But I trust it was okay. But I was just excited to hear that we were coming to a friend's house. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Cool. That's what I like about this. You make new friends, man. I love it.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
That's
I force
what's-
people. I force people.
I feel like the music business is just good for that in general. Like
That's-
just meeting people you thought you'd probably never meet and
Yeah.
then making the friendships that you do. Like, it's really cool.
Well, I've always been a firm believer. You either make really good, long-lasting friends, or you get the knife in the back. One of the two.
You
It's
make
not
a lot of enemies.
it's not on the fence.
Yeah, no, it is. You definitely learn that this industry is all about not necessarily who you know, but how good you know people and how good you are to people, and yeah, you can't do it alone. So here we are.
I know, right? Nothing but fun.
Nothing but fun.
I've been getting a kick out of your shirt. Hey, y'all.
Hey y'all, I just got it this past week, so
I love it.
I was like, I need to up
That's
my
cool.
wardrobe. It's been a few years, and I'm writing different music now, so I'm like, we got to kind of look like it. So, thank you.
Well, I mean, it kind of, I'm telling y'all, and everybody can quote me on this because I've said it more than once, but I haven't said it on air yet. So I'm going to go ahead and say it on air. I've been threatening this, and I mean to damn well do it.
Okay.
I'm going to have a pajama podcast one day.
Oh, people
Do
will eat
it.
that up.
I'm constantly like, man, if I could just play my shows and PJs, like that's all I would do. But
I mean,
I don't know how marketable that is.
See, I'm embracing this new generation of like, it's not about what we look like, it's about who we are. I'm like, great, so we don't have to dress up anymore.
Right? I don't got
Yeah,
no
really.
makeup
Great, I
on.
ain't putting any makeup on. Perfect.
Oh hell.
Let it all hang out.
We'll put on my gray sweatpants, tank top.
Seriously.
That is how I was over the weekend until I had to get on stage. I was like, I'm wearing my leopard print PJs and I look like I'm dressed for the winter because I had my Uggs on and a big baggy sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
It's like y'all get to see all sides of me this weekend. You get to see the glam Taylor where I'm decked out in diamonds on stage, and then the rolled out of bed, don't judge me kind of look.
Well, I mean, look, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm being totally honest. I've seen you dolled up. I've seen you on stage. And I've seen you the very next morning when everybody was waking up.
The hair of the doll.
Oh God, yeah.
And look, girl, you just as pretty with or without makeup.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
And that's what I like, because Hannah doesn't wear a lot of makeup, and I can imagine she's just gorgeous with none on,
Natural.
just natural, and that's what I like. I like natural beauty.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was kind of how I was raised. And also I put a lot of makeup on. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, my mom
I
was
just
the opposite.
Look like a clown.
My mom has lipstick on at all times.
That's how
Even if she's got a ball cap and sweatpants on, she's got her diamonds on, she's got her lipstick on. If I don't have lipstick on, she's like, "You're gonna put some lip color on, right?" And I'm like, "Damn." And she's like, "No, you just, I want you to look your best." And I'm like, "Well, damn, Mama, what does that mean?" Like,
it's such
Lord.
a southern raising.
oh yeah,
It
for
is.
sure.
I mean, I tell people my dad's side of the family, I never saw, I don't think either of my aunts without makeup, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of it too is war paint. Is
Oh,
what
well, that's what
people
I
like,
always say.
especially in small towns,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
build up this facade of you can't get to me.
oh well, I'm always like, I gotta
so-
paint my face.
Yeah.
I gotta go paint my face.
But like if I don't give you anything to throw stones at, you can't pick at me. And so I think a lot of that was kind of bred into me too. It's like I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I always look put together, at least like I'm going out to do something.
Oh well, my daddy raised me like a boy, so I'm sure it drives my mom crazy.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because like, I mean, you hung out with me this weekend. I don't have a filter, and
I know you're a lot of damn fun.
I try to be. I'm a Hughes.
Well, I mean, I kind of wished I had more time to hang out with y'all.
I know. I feel
But-
like the day just was like there was so much going on.
Well, I
And
mean,
it was
I
like-
stepped in and I had to help them. I mean, it was just, dude.
Hey, it was a super fun day, and like I was having the time of my life.
Oh yeah.
I love
We were having so much fun. Just getting to play music, like I can't complain about that.
Oh no. And then the highlight of all of it though is I got to hang out with you, and it was a lot of fun. But Morgan hugged me like 3-4 times.
She's so sweet. I loved meeting her. Everyone was
She
really
was
cool
just-
though. Like everyone was laid back.
Well, I mean, you meet some people and you think they're like well-to-do or snobby or something like that. She was just as down-home wholesome as it gets.
yeah.
And the energy she put out on stage. Did you see
she was
that shit?
awesome. Yeah, we were dancing on the dance floor and stuff. We were having a good old time.
It was wild.
I love that. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, she had her whole band was getting into it and
Oh, they're
everything.
great. They were
That's
so super cool, super talented. Like that was what was cool about the festival is that everyone was just so good, but everyone was like, "We all are friends. Like,
Yeah.
let's all hang out." Like, no one was like, "Oh, I'm too good to be here," or
Yeah.
like, "I'm too good to talk to you," because like
Yeah.
you run into that a lot in this
Yeah.
business. Where,
Yeah.
like you're like, I don't know where the line needs to be drawn, or like you don't know like if people are gonna be warm and like because I'm nice to everybody. I'm like, we're all friends.
Yeah.
Like I'm super like just laid back. I want to make sure everyone's having a good time. But like I've been in situations where people are like, "Oh, I'm better than you," and you're like, "Oh, well, I guess we ain't gonna be friends today."
Yeah.
Like,
No.
right?
Yeah. I mean, it's such a transference of energy, like on that stage, and it's just like what you get from the crowd is like what you end up getting back, and also what you get from the people around you, your band. It's,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's just when it all comes together, it's magical. But
Well, I mean, it's the same way when you go to work.
Same.
If you go to a work and you walk in and your coworker is just pissy, they're just and griping about everything, it brings me down.
well, I kind of do that every day when I walk into my nursing job, because there's definitely somebody that doesn't want to be there.
Right? You're like, no one's forcing
for
you
that
to be
day.
here.
Yeah. And so like I've always been the person that's, kind of the positive bright light because, there are times I equally don't want to be there, but but it's my passion and it's not, that I don't want to be there for, the reasons. It's just one of those days. And so you got to just,
Yeah.
and I think that's the great thing about music is like you step on that stage and it doesn't matter what day you're having, like you can just throw it to the wind and give it to the song. And
Absolutely. Just really get into it. And that's like, I always say like the stage is my happy place. Like that's my home. That is where you will see the authentic Taylor. Like that's where I feel most comfortable.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure everyone's having a good time. And if I'm not having a good time, then they're going to know.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to have a good time. Like, we don't want none of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. And it's that transference of energy. Like you gotta.
The only thing that gets me is like before I do this show, I get nervous.
Yeah. Same.
I always do.
Same.
And then when I was doing the MCing for y'all out there, I was just like, I was scared as hell to get up to that microphone because I knew I was going to say something stupid or off color but that crowd was rough.
Oh yeah, they were.
hard when
I
you
think
got
during the day, like sometimes you just have to let people loosen up and stuff. Like once I got there, it was the evening, and I was like, we're gonna have a good time.
Well, they started drinking by then.
Oh yeah, and I was like, we're about to
helps.
party, and we're gonna have a good time. And if you're not having a good time, I'm gonna put you in a good mood, and then we're gonna have a good time.
The only good laugh I got out of the whole crowd is I pulled a MySpace joke.
Good old MySpace.
People were like, "What's MySpace?"
No. They laughed their butt off because I said MySpace, and then I stopped. Because I've got this little soapbox I get onto, and I say it for everybody: artists, musicians, everybody all over, podcasters, all that stuff. If you're looking at these people's pages and you like them, you like their music, you like their podcast or their YouTube, hit like, share, subscribe. And then I went into go check out all of their social media, like MySpace. Oh crap, I'm telling my age. That was the only time I got a laugh out of that crowd.
That's it.
That was it.
And I'm telling you, like, I've learned to be a stand-up comedian, because
Yeah.
there are tuning sessions in between the songs that seem to take forever.
Oh, dude, we was up at Bowling Green.
Oh yeah.
We was at Bowling Green, and Taylor's like right in the middle of a freaking show, and she's just like, I want to know where you got that jacket.
Yep.
And talking to this lady in the crowd. And it was funny. It was hilarious.
You do. I mean, it's
gotta
like
interact.
That's why we're there. Like, if we were playing to an empty room, like I want to know the people out there. Like, I don't feel like a, idol. I don't feel like I'm anybody special. I just feel like I'm singing songs on the stage and I want to know why somebody's here and why they're what makes them happy and
Absolutely.
what's going to make them giggle and come and hang out a little longer and stay and talk afterwards. So
Yeah, that's my thing. Before I play like any show, I walk around, I put the postcards on the table so
Yeah, you
people have
do.
the socials and stuff. But like I make sure to at least get to know a few people out there. So like during the show we can have that banter and they feel like it's about them because it is. Like I go to perform to entertain you. Like this is for you. I want to make sure that these fans are having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having a good time because I'm doing what I love. But you're here. You've probably had a long week of work. Now it's the weekend. You're spending your hard-earned dollars on drinks and music. Like I need to make sure that you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Or you won't want me to come back, right? Not once you want me to come back. And I think fans really appreciate that. And that's why over the years of touring and playing so many shows, I've created fans that are almost like family.
Yeah.
Because I took the initiative to be like, well, where are you from? And, what do you like? And we talk about, different stories and what a song might mean to them. Or we're just sitting there talking about something that has nothing to do with music. And they like that you took the initiative to get to know them. And, music is how you create a relationship, I think. It's how people connect more than any other way. So that's what I like to do. And, I like to call you out in the middle of a show, get you going. Sometimes people need that.
they do.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, okay, this girl's laid back. She's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get into it with her,
Yeah.
And some people just need to be seen, They do. It's like a lot of people, come out and they want to be able to do, what we do. And I think, we try not to take it for granted because that, but it's like, you want to hit those people and you want to bring them in and bring them on stage with you and give them that experience with you. And so that's a really cool part.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. And I love it when you, like at the artist and their band has been playing together for a while and they're tight and they can play off each other.
Oh yeah.
And it just brings the crowd even then more.
Oh, absolutely.
That's been the transition for me. So I was in Nashville 6 years and the pandemic hit and I went to Austin, Texas for 2 years because I said Texas ain't shutting down.
That's right.
And I wanted the freedom to create a band and create a sound that wasn't necessarily Nashville.
Right.
And so I did that, and I ended up creating a family band, and the players are different there. It's just a little different, and so.
They got a different, it's an altogether different style, really.
It is.
It's a different world.
Yeah, it is. It really is, and it's so hard to explain. But both of them exist for so many special reasons. And so, and then I ended up coming back to Nashville because it was the songwriting that I was so, void of.
She missed me.
I did. I missed Taylor.
She was like, I need Taylor in my
and
life.
it was the community. It was the people. And so when I came back, I was like, how do I do this? Because they're both intricate parts, and you just really can't get a family band in Nashville.
No,
it's
hard.
And to each and to understand why is people have to work and they have to pay their bills, and so it's understandable. But it's like so I get to go and play in Texas and have that moment with those people and that family, and then I get to do songwriting stuff here with this family, and that's all it is at the end of the day, is a big old dysfunctional family.
Yes. Yes.
Functionally.
Very.
Dysfunctional.
very dysfunctional.
We're all that way. So doesn't it make it functional?
It
because
does.
we're all dysfunctional together.
It is.
Well, that's what I thought.
It is. It's when the little jagged pieces mesh up and you're like, oh, that's how that fits.
Yes. Well, it's so funny because, we were talking on the way here, just catching up and stuff about how important it is to surround yourself with the right people. And I moved to Nashville a little over 5 years ago, and you're trying to navigate who can you trust, who do you want to invest your time in. And I'm very much like, my character is just to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And,
no, you in the wrong town for that.
I
honey.
know. But
It's a girl thing. It's a girl thing.
It is, I think. And my husband is the opposite. Like, he can read you instantly. So it's nice to have him. But I think over, now that I've been here for several years, I've found my community and like my people. I've got 5 girlfriends that I not only write with them and tour with them and, play shows, but like we have our wine and whiskey nights, or we just, sometimes we meet up to write and we don't write anything because we're just laughing and talking the whole time. And, you have to find those people that you click with and that they understand your struggles and you understand theirs, and you can be there for each other, their highs and their lows. And that's what's nice because, back where I'm from, Lexington, there's not a big music scene there.
No, not really.
And so like
Neither
none
in
of
South Georgia.
Yeah. And like none of my friends back at home are really they're not musicians. Like, so it's hard for them to understand things that I'm going through or, what I'm experiencing and stuff. So I think having that community, like Hannah and Ash Taylor and my girl Crystal King and Audra McLaughlin and Maddie True, those are my girls. And we all can, sit there and complain about things, but we understand what the other one's going through. It's not like, I don't know what you're talking about kind of thing. Like, I work my big girl 9-to-5 job and you're out being a rock star. Like there's a disconnect there.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that, I have those people here.
And it also magically happens that when you're at that point where you're like, I'm just ready to quit, somebody texts you and somebody,
It's like we can read each other's minds.
yeah, like I got around, come on, or hey, let's ride, or something like that, so
Yeah.
yeah,
That's good.
that's fine. So David, I heard you had some off the wall questions.
What off the wall questions?
I don't know, non-music questions, just things that
Do you use a blow dryer or do you just naturally dry your hair?
naturally.
Okay, well, see, there you go.
Just stick my
That's
head out the window.
Just stick it out.
The dog's in the back, and we all stick our head out the window on the way down the road.
Oh, Lord.
I do, actually.
If I don't dry my hair, I got a big old afro. It gets crazy. I got some curly
I want
hair.
to see that.
You don't need to see
I
that.
agree. I was not expecting
We
that.
don't need to see none of
No.
that.
I'm thinking
You-
you got some body to it and everything. I mean,
I got some curls. I got it from my mama. My mama used to have super long curly hair, and you met my mom. She's got like a pixie
does,
cut now.
yeah.
Like she used to have long curls. And
I
that's
told
where
a friend
got
of
it
mine.
from.
I told a friend of mine yesterday. He said, "What was the brightest moment of the whole show?" And I said, the brightest moment of the whole show. Taylor's mom coming out at 9 o'clock in the morning, totally showered, makeup,
Yep.
in her little short little thing that she had on, and that laugh.
My mom's laugh.
Oh my God.
It's infectious, but it's also very loud. So we can, if we ever lose her in like a Walmart or something,
You're like,
if you
somebody
just
crack a joke.
Yeah, someone say, if you hear her laughing, we're like, I hear her. Or like the times that we've been out, like out and about, in like a huge crowd, you just hear her laugh. We're like, oh, there's Susan. Like it's so funny, but I ain't gonna lie, my laugh is just as loud. It's just slightly deeper.
I like
yeah, but hers has got that little crispness. To
Yes.
it, just real crisp.
So
and
funny.
just, I mean, it was just wild. I can't do it. My voice is too deep.
Yeah.
Yay. Are you having fun with that drink?
I am.
She finished hers.
Y'all hang on just a second.
you're
I've got to answer my granddaughter. Talk
good.
amongst
We
yourselves.
will. You were fine. She needs you.
This got a little bit of burn on it.
Pour some in mine. Oh my goodness, I love it. I know. I remember meeting your mom at the Blue.
If you're gonna say something, you gotta say it to the mic.
Oh, were we still recording?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't know that?
No, I thought you hit the number 2, which meant something.
I don't do that much editing either.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. You can always edit
Oh
it out.
Lord.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that much editing.
You don't
Don't
edit.
say nothing
No.
bad.
Perfect.
It's raw, baby.
I don't.
Oh, we like a raw.
Yeah, I don't like edit. I don't like Photoshop. I don't like all that stuff.
I don't either.
So that works perfectly.
It gets on my nerve. The only thing I'll do is I might take a break for like a bathroom break or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Do we hear the toilet flushing on the?
No. I actually turned this off for that.
Here you keep dropping the kids off at the pool.
Yeah, well, it's,
Jeez.
sometimes you hear the Hindenburg blow up. I mean,
Speaking of, I know I was driving I have an old '53 Willys Jeep.
oh, I'm jealous already.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool.
Speaking of things that aren't automatic. I was driving it and showered it off yesterday, and I went to put it back, and I realized I think I got the starter ignition wet. So it's not cranking right now. And then I look at it and I'm like, I'm going to just have to go ahead and replace all the electrical. At this point, might as well. So I'm just like, ugh. But,
Oh, yeah.
But I also got excited at the same time because it's like, we've gotten to this day and age in the world where it's like everybody just wants to
it's
pay
push
for it
button.
and push button. And I realized in my life, like how much it took away from me and my experiences and the progress of the journey that it takes to figure something out. And so I was like, I actually got excited. I was like, this is going to suck in summer, but at the same time, it's like, and also being able to do something that I shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah,
With no experience as a mechanic or anything.
Let me tell you something.
I'm not even going to do the woman car because I don't like pulling that. That's not.
I
what it's
don't
about.
care. I'm gonna
If you
tell
can
you.
YouTube it, you can do it.
I'm going to tell you something, and this is for every guy out there. You got two things going for you right now. Number one, you're a nurse, which is just hot in itself.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
a hard job. Like,
I always apologize to people who are married to nurses.
And you getting out there underneath the hood of a truck.
I feel like it limits me because I feel like men are like, ooh, like that's a.
There's a lot of men
I can't-
intimidated by that shit.
They are,
It makes the dating pool very limited, and then
Yeah.
I end up with probably the type of men I shouldn't end up with.
Well, exactly. And that's the one
that's why I
while you're
just stay
changing the tire.
single. Just stay single.
That's the one that is standing at the back of the car while you're changing the tire playing on his phone.
That's right. That's right. I'm like, I want somebody that's going to get in there with me, have the conversation, not just write me off, but, but also just respect, like, yeah, I mean, we can all do different things. And
I'm not good with cars.
right. I mean,
You're not good with cars?
But my daddy taught me how to drive stick, and I know a lot of guys who cannot drive stick.
Oh yeah.
And when they find out I can, they're like, "That's really hot."
It's a dying art.
It is. It is. And
really.
it's fun. Like,
Yeah.
my first car was a little red Mazda Miata, and it was.
Oh, you were styling.
I was, and I was
I
driving
had a little
around.
red Mercury Cougar.
Yeah. Well, I also had a little yellow Mini Cooper that was stick and I ran it into the ground.
Those things were quick though.
Dude.
They
They
are. You
are.
talk about getting through traffic real quick. Like, my husband cannot drive stick. And I'm like, what kind of man are you? Don't tell him I said
He's
that.
like,
He's
don't
a
put that
manly
in the
man.
podcast.
I know.
Only thing I got to say is you better not let him hear this. Then
I know. He's
mean,
going to be like, what the hell, Taylor? It's
her-
funny because he can do a lot of stuff, but he
yeah, he's
cannot
like,
drive
tell him all the things I
stick.
can do. Tell him
Yeah. He's highly intelligent, which is funny because like he works in IT. So like when I'm like, I can't work my phone, he's like, that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
But like he knows, like he's so smart. But I remember when I found out he didn't know how to drive stick, and I was like, you are not driving my car. And he tried to once. I was like, get out, you're about to ruin my car. No. So I always give him hell about that. And like when I bought mine, I had a Mazda CX-5, but it was automatic. He was like,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to buy a stick car because if I have to drive, like, I can't do it. I was like,
Lord, if you broke a toe or something like that,
Oh, dude, she figured it out.
he wouldn't be able to take you to the hospital.
I know, we'd be screwed. Like, what are we gonna do?
She'd be still driving in that boot.
I started out, my first car was a 67 Mustang Fastback GT
Well, look at you.
with a 4-speed.
That's you twice.
I know, right?
First car.
I was privileged.
I see this.
I was privileged.
I had to work for it,
Understood.
but it was 4-speed. And Dad wouldn't let me in the car until I learned how to drive 4-speed.
Yep.
So the car I learned how to drive 4-speed in was a Plymouth Horizon 4-speed.
I can't even envision.
It was a little bitty box of a car.
box, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably just a roll cage.
4-cylinder, front wheel drive, and 4-speed.
yeah.
You know,
Like,
So
I can't talk about privilege. We had a 1964 Corvette growing up, so the 53 Willys was what I learned on
yeah.
to be able to drive the Corvette.
Corvette.
But I never made it to be able to drive it because it got sold prior to my driving days.
You think that was planned or?
You know, probably. I don't have a great track record. It's like you know me, David. It's like you know me.
But then I got older, and I was 19, and I started driving big truck.
Oh, that's what my husband has, the big old truck. He doesn't let me drive it.
No, big truck,
Like a 18.
Like a-
like a 18
my
wheeler.
daddy drove from
Oh.
18 wheeler.
Because when I was younger, that's when Smokey and the Bandit come out.
Yeah.
And was it Susan? No, it was Sally Fields.
Yeah.
I wanted to be her so bad. I think I kind of like that's where a lot of my style comes from. Was her in that movie?
Oh, she was hot as
Oh
hell
my
in that
God,
movie.
she was and natural, like, and my mama kind of looks like her. So yeah, I think I was like, wow, I can right there.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Yeah.
me.
I just haven't found my Burt Reynolds yet on the bearskin rug.
Well, I ain't got that. I mean, I can tell you that. but
I'm good.
I can't even laugh like him. He had the most unique. Your mom and him would have been awesome. I mean, just put them in a room together.
let 'em
Both
laugh
of them
one
laugh.
time.
Yeah,
Oh my God, I would love that.
that'd have been cool as hell.
There's nothing like a good laugh. I hope I'm known for my laugh one day. I think that's special.
My mom is definitely
like your
known for
laugh.
that.
Thank you. I feel like it changes over time. I'm one of those people that
It all
kind of
depends on-
adopts things
yeah,
from
it-
other people, and I'm like, I like how that sounds. And next thing I know, I'm doing it. Like, what? Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I like about Taylor, because Taylor's got that full laugh. You know,
Oh,
It's
yeah,
funny.
Mines were loud.
Good
Yeah.
twirl. I love that.
yeah, I know it's loud. You woke me up one time.
I probably did. I'm sorry. You can blame the tequila and whiskey I was drinking.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yes, she did.
I know. That's not a common thing for me. I don't typically mix, but
Who was drinking the Maker's Mark?
I don't know. We could never figure out who that belonged to.
It belonged to Morgan.
Was it Morgan?
It was one of the bottles
that's what
that
I
was in a
thought.
gift bag for Morgan and her band.
I
And then
Drink her gift bag. No.
I wasn't mean. No, she brought some stuff and then she left it behind. So I know some people were getting
Yeah.
into it, but me and my guitarist were like, who does this belong to? I was like, I don't know. I'm not drinking it.
Oh, just
It's not mine.
hey, if it's sitting on the counter, it's free game.
That is an
Snooze, you
actual
lose.
rule
Exactly.
in the hospital. If it's on the table and it ain't labeled,
Yeah.
gone.
Oh no. See,
So you grew up in Lexington, Kentucky.
yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
Little town called Thomasville, Georgia, like right
Thomasville.
above the Florida line.
Okay,
And
yeah.
that's where all my family still is.
Okay. So I was born and raised in Nashville.
Oh, unicorn.
Yeah.
They pushed you all the way out this way.
No, he said, I'm getting the hell
You're
out
like,
of there.
get
I got the hell
of
out
here.
as soon as I was old enough. I got out.
I'm telling you, it's amazing how much it's grown. In the 2 years I left and went to Austin, I got back and went to Broadway. I said, "What is this theme park?" They put
Yeah.
that mall in the side. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, well, that's how, like, I never ventured to downtown
It's
Nashville.
so hard to.
Yeah.
I hardly ever do.
There's no free
Yeah.
parking anymore.
No,
I'm not going.
I ain't paying $50 to go
I
play a
ain't
show. Like, I'm gonna lose money. Like, what is this?
No.
Well, the only reason I went is because my buddy Chris Turner invited me down there, and he's like, "Dude, it's a private event. Come on, you can,
Right.
you know, hang out, talk to people, whatever, you know." And I'm thinking, okay, networking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
I'd
and,
go.
and it's Teddy's. It's right there next to the stadium.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
So I got my assistant to drop me off, and I just walked right across the street, went up, and I had a blast. Hung out, talked to a lot of people, a lot of IPA beer makers or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you were talking about.
I still can't figure out how you can make a beer that tastes like strawberry shortcake.
I'm not a beer
Same thing with
drinker,
moonshine. Like
so-
how you can get moonshine and not taste like moonshine. I don't mess with that stuff.
I
don't either.
mess,
I don't touch
I
it.
do.
No,
I mess
'cause
with
I
the
will-
moonshine.
I will fall on the
No.
floor.
Taylor, you messing
not-
with the store bought stuff, or you actually messing with real moonshine?
Do you know where I'm from?
I know Lexington.
You know what was in my backyard?
Do you know?
I'm just making sure now.
The
Down
Hugheses
in the
don't mess
gully.
around with the fake shit. We don't play that game.
Hey, you know, sometimes
My
you got to
daddy
clarify.
knows people. Yeah, no.
You just got to clarify sometimes.
That's right. It reminds me of that Brent Cobb song. You heard that Down in the Gully?
Yep.
Making that bootleg moonshine.
You know that you ever heard of Cornbread Mafia?
Oh,
Yeah.
There's your kin people.
No, they are. They are my kin people.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
We don't mess around. Okay. We either go big or we go home.
I love it.
Like,
I love
but I'm not a beer drinker. I hate beer.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. I will
used to
not
be
drink
big.
it.
I've done, like, I like
It all
my
tastes
Miller
the-
Lite.
It all tastes the same to me.
Yeah, I understand.
I can drink, like if I'm
But
out.
I prefer.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer this.
Yeah,
But
if I'm drinking it,
if-
it's bourbon or whiskey. Like,
if I'm out at a bar or something like that, or I'm, you know, a business type, you know, I'll have a Miller Lite. Mm-hmm. But after everything's done or whatever, then I'll have a bourbon or I'll have a whiskey.
Yeah.
yep.
You know, that, those guys, the Three Rangers, I mean, that was a real good whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a creeping whiskey.
Oh.
Yeah, 3-4 shots, you think you're fine. 30 minutes later,
You not.
you out.
I
See,
can
yeah.
attest.
I sip whiskey. I don't. I'm not a big shot person.
See, I don't shoot.
I like to
don't
know where I
shoot
stand at
whiskey
all.
either.
I
but
don't like
that's
to shoot.
That was the only way they were giving it, and I was like,
know.
"Oh God, this is gonna turn real ugly real quick."
Well, that's when he brought the
like,
shot up
Sip
to me.
that communion cup. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
whatever. I ain't taking it.
You're like, you can judge me all you want.
I can tell,
Yeah.
like, but this reflux ain't no joke.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, right? Give me a shot with a side of Tums, please.
that's exactly it.
Now, if I'm shooting like a shot, it's tequila. Like,
But you're not supposed to shoot tequila. You're supposed to sip it.
They say,
yeah,
yeah.
good tequila.
If it's good, yeah.
shitty tequila,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You
That's
just
so
want to get rid of it as fast as you can. And
We did
Well-
that at the basement the other night, and I immediately took it, and I was like, and I
God.
said, bad decision, bad, out loud, bad.
Whose idea was
Everybody else
this?
said it too, and I was like, y'all are the ones that wanted it.
Well, see, when I was younger, you know, the guy, you got acting all big, bad, tough, you know, and all that other stuff. I had a flask I carried in my back pocket, and it was full of mezcal.
Yep. Yep. Ooh.
that's an acquired
Fancy.
taste.
Yeah.
I enjoy mezcal.
You like mezcal?
After living in Texas.
You like
I
the
like
worm?
some of it.
I
You never ate the worm?
don't do that.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't not. I just don't trust
Oh no, I don't want none of that.
Where in the hell did the worm come from? That's what I want to know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to break down in my digestive system. I'm not sure. That's that nurse coming
Well,
out at me.
I think the whole part of it is once you get that much tequila in you, you ain't got to worry about your digestive system. It's a three-way traffic.
Right.
That's all.
And the thing is we don't have to worry about me getting that much tequila in me. No. No.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
I am Irish potatoes and whiskey, so yeah.
I've actually got a real good tequila over there.
I like a good reposado.
I've learned that I do
ice.
like a good one. It does go straight to my head.
Especially, me too. But like when it's summertime, sometimes bourbon and like whiskey is too hot.
Yeah.
So like you gotta do something else. And like we go to the lake and everyone's like, all right, you got your hard seltzers and your beer. And I said, I got tequila.
Right.
I don't know what y'all are doing on the lake, but
I do not do seltzer.
no, I do not. I don't do beer.
I've tried.
White Claws. Oh God.
Tried.
I don't like any of them. So I'm like, well, I've got tequila if anyone wants to have some real fun.
Yeah.
And I'll catch y'all on this floaty over here.
While you're all peeing about 50 times.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, y'all go for it.
No.
We used to make some stuff. It was called Hunch Punch.
Oh yeah.
Is that like hooch at a
just
frat
a bunch
party?
of sugar and
No.
a bunch of different types of liquor, right?
Or a LIT?
Well, I
Something
mean,
there
that's
too.
close.
I think there are different types of hunch punch, but
Well,
what was yours?
the Hunch Punch we used to make, and me and my buddy Mike, we made it a lot. And it was basically whatever flavor Kool-Aid you come up with. Cherry, watermelon, whatever. It didn't matter.
Sugar.
You throwed it in the cooler with a little bit of water.
Yeah.
Stirred it up real good. Throw you a bag of ice in there. Whatever booze you got left over, like you were saying, throw it in there.
That sounds about right.
Mix it up real good.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the 80s.
And in the 80s,
Quaaludes were nice.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
dissolvents, you said.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Dude, I'm telling you, that
So-
stuff these days, I'm like, cover my
Oh,
they don't.
hell yeah.
Dude,
Oh, you got to.
You got to. Oh, don't even
Hey,
get me
the bad
started
part-
about Nashville.
Look, bad
That's
part about
why
it
I
is
don't- yeah.
now it's gotten to where guys have got to do it.
Oh, I know. They used to joke and be like, I'd like to get roofied. I'm like, you just wait.
Well, I have a funny story about that.
Uh-oh, here we go.
My family is really big into tailgating. So once football season comes around, all the UK fans come out. And we used to have a party bus and had the big horn on it, and a keg attached to it. So me and my girlfriend went to go tailgate with my family and stuff. And I don't know who did it, but someone tried to roofie me and my friend, and they got my uncle and one of my dad's friends. And we were partying, but like it wasn't like, it was still daytime. Like we hadn't even gone into the game yet. Like you should not be that wasted. We haven't been drinking. And like they were stumbling all over the place. We were like, something's not right.
Yeah.
And like, I know my uncle can drink. Like,
Right.
we party together sometimes. Like, there's no reason why he should be acting like this. Well, he went to the doctor the next day and come to find out someone had roofied him. And they were trying to get us, and they got,
They got them.
they got the old
Man.
men. And like, you just gotta be careful, man. Like, and that's another reason why, like, I don't go out like that anymore. Like, if I'm going out, like, I'm going to our favorite bar, Obie Joyful. Shout out to them. Those are my people. And we get a nice craft cocktail, nice old fashioned. I'm an old fashioned kind of girl, but you know, get a few in me, and I'm like, can I get a picture of these? And they're like, no, Taylor, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. And I'm like, well, we should make it a
You're
thing.
just asking for the bottle, is what you're asking for.
They just make them so good. And like
Oh,
now,
yeah.
like I'm afraid to order an old fashioned anymore because I'm like, you're gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, that's what gets me about this whole new generation, because how I was raised up is don't get in cars with strangers. Don't talk to strangers. And if you're drunk, you better call mama.
I called my brother.
Yeah, but nowadays people go out, they get drunk, wasted, they call Uber,
And they
Nope.
get in a car
and
with
they
a
get in a
stranger.
car with a stranger.
I don't trust Uber, and I don't trust
I get
Lyft.
so uncomfortable.
I won't do it.
I've never liked it.
Nope. The only time I've ever been in one is like if my husband was with me, and even then I was like, can we not? I've heard too many like
Yeah.
Yeah.
bad stories, and I'm like, no.
Nope. I'm good.
So call someone we know. Like,
Drink at home. There's a lot of
It's
fun things
cheaper.
you could do at home.
And yeah. That's a totally different story.
Right.
That's a
Damn.
different conversation.
I'm going to be getting phone calls in the middle of the night, y'all. David, can you come get us?
Oh hell, my
Hey,
dad.
David, can you send your assistant? I hear you have an assistant.
Hell, my dad, if he goes out with his friends, he will call me like on Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving. It's a big like thing that our family does. They get together, the moonshine comes out, the bourbon comes out. It's liquor, it's being drank. And we fry a bunch of turkeys, and the men stay out till God knows when. Well, my dad went downtown with a few of his friends one year and called me at 3 a.m. The first thing he said, he screams on the phone. I answer, hello? Uber! I need an Uber. And I said, I'm not an Uber, Dad. And he goes, your mom's not answering me, so I need you to come get me. So I'm going to pick them up because apparently I'm an Uber. And I drive. And you've seen my dad. He's a big old boy.
He's big and stout.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was driving my Mini Cooper
God,
at the
he's stout.
time. So I was driving this little itty bitty Mini Cooper, and I'd pick up him and a friend of his that's the same size as him.
Yeah.
And throw them in the back of my Mini Cooper, right? Well, I pick up my dad, and he's in the car, and his friend sees me, and he is wasted, and he thinks I'm a cop, and he's like, you're not gonna catch me, and he's running down. If you're from Lexington, you're gonna know this. He's running down Tate's Creek Road, and I'm like, get in this damn car. I'm not a cop. I'm here to pick you up.
I'm not on the
I'm in a yellow Mini Cooper. You think I'm a cop? Like, what are you doing? I said, get in this damn car.
You trying to catch me?
But yeah, and
The
so
light
now,
on top going, woo, 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 woo.
so now it's just a running joke. If someone in our family's drunk, they call me, I need an Uber. And I'm like,
my
I'm not an Uber.
I'm in Nashville. I'm
in
not
Nashville.
driving up there.
Exactly. My ass is not driving all the way to Kentucky to go
That's
pick you up.
amazing. That is amazing. They're like, but we know you would.
No soldier left behind. I will come get
None.
you. It's
Yeah.
reasonable distance.
Same.
I tell all my friends that if y'all ever need me, I'll come get you. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
I'll never not give you crap for the rest of
Oh
our
yeah.
lives.
For
Oh yeah, I might video it too. I mean, you know.
yes. That too.
No, I'm one of those people. I'm like, where are we burying the body? Like, let's go. Nobody will ever find out about this ever again.
All you gotta do is go to East Tennessee, find a sinkhole. You ain't gotta do
That's
no
right.
digging. You ain't gotta do nothing. It's just kick them. You know.
That's right. Nobody goes down there. And comes back to tell about it.
There's stories around East Tennessee. People don't go in them woods.
Right. They don't do it. They don't do it. Ain't from around these parts. I always hear that banjo.
Uh-huh.
You know, I've only seen Deliverance one time.
I saw a part of it and then I never watched it again. I got to a certain part and I was like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, it just
The same way. I
don't
can't
know.
handle it.
You know, it's life. It's true. You know, things like that happen. But I was like, I can't handle that.
Not
my
for
little
me.
brain. Not my little brain.
Have you been whitewater rafting?
One time with the church group.
Was it on the Ocoya?
It was somewhere in Georgia. I can't remember.
Oh, well, it
I
wasn't
can't
on the
remember where we
Ocoya
were.
then.
Yeah, if that's around here, no, sir.
No, it's over towards Gatlinburg and all that.
Gotcha.
That
gotcha.
sounds like fun. I've never done that.
No.
You've never done that?
No, I did the one like in what's it called, Kings Island, where you get on the little. You're all sitting on the little tube.
The one where they have
Thing.
little bunkers or
Yeah, you go
something? Like a
down
Dollywood type of thing.
Yeah, and you go down the river. That's about the extent too.
I like it.
Oh my God!
It's a lot safer.
Yes, I'm not a strong swimmer. So
Well, you had
I
the tube
don't-
in the bumpers.
well, yeah, but I'm saying like that's probably why I've never done like the real thing because I ain't trying to die.
It's not really about swimming. It's just about
Well, what if I
buoyancy,
fall out?
You know.
Oh, no, I'm
If
not
you
a
fall
good,
out-
I'm not a
You
good
better hope your
floater.
life. You just hold on that ledge.
Not,
That's right.
so
You pull your feet up so they don't get broken a rock, and you just kind of tuck up in the fetal
I
position.
would just
And
die.
you say, "Dear God, if it's
Please.
my time, please take me swiftly, like this river."
Dear baby Jesus.
Dear baby Jesus.
Dear baby Jesus.
Please save
Dear
me.
5 pound 8 ounce baby Jesus.
I did go scuba diving once, and I thought I was gonna die.
See, that
and
actually makes me nervous.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to do it. We were on our honeymoon, and my husband was like, "We're doing this." And we got in the water. We didn't even like get out into the water yet. And I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I started to have a panic attack. And like,
Yeah.
because I'm not a strong swimmer. And like, we're out in the middle of the ocean. And I was like, this is how I go. I'm gonna die. This is it. And he said, "You're being ridiculous." I said, "This is how I go. I love you. This is how I go." So we had just started, and I was like, "I can't do this. I'm gonna die." And like I laid on my back, and he drugged me the entire time.
Oh God.
And he was like, "You gotta look at these fish." And I said, "Nope, I'm good over here, looking at the sky." Like, I did. And as soon as we got out of the water, I was like, "Give me some tequila." Like we were down in Mexico, and I was like, "This is what I needed: tacos and tequila. Don't be putting me in that water."
Oh yeah.
No. Oh God. I seriously, I was like, I'm gonna die.
See, I won't go in the ocean.
Really?
I'll go up to maybe my
Waist deep.
If I can't
Yeah.
see through the water, I'm not going in. But like this was
Yeah.
like crystal blue water.
Yeah.
So like, but still, I was like, I can't swim well.
It's
Yeah,
like,
but I was 7 years old when Jaws came out.
Oh, dude,
no.
Jaws, like, because I
Yeah.
love the ocean, but deep water, like, because I was like with snorkeling, like, it sucks because it's when you're looking out, it looks so intimidating, but it's like the second you stick your face down, it's like,
Yeah.
you just don't know what's going to come around.
That's right.
Well, hell, if there's like, we were in the water and on vacation once, and there was like turtles out, and I was
Yeah.
like, "There's killer turtles." And Drew, my husband's like, "Those turtles don't want
They're
nothing."
gonna sit on me and sink me
I was
to
like,
death.
"They're gonna eat me," and he's like, "Those turtles are not coming for you." And I said, "So I got a little bit of a butt," and I said, "They saw my ham hocks. They're coming for me.
They want to nibble.
They want to bite." And he's like, "They don't eat people," and I said, "That one's gonna
Yeah.
eat me." I
my
don't
God.
mess with sea creatures. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
remember
either.
seeing a barracuda when we were snorkeling one time.
God.
I was like, oh.
I'll eat them, but like I don't want to be in their home.
Yeah, but say I love deep sea fishing. I like going out.
You like being on top and,
Yeah, and just
yeah.
get on out there.
I'll be on a cruise. I'll do that. I'll do the cruise
I'll
life.
sit on top of a real high ship.
Yeah, but like, don't ask me to go in that water. Like,
First time my dad took me deep sea fishing, I was about 14, I think, and my Uncle Kenny went with us. And my Uncle Kenny was giving me shit. He was picking on me big time. He's like, "You shouldn't have brung him out here. It's in the ocean. He's going to get seasick and all this other stuff." So 4 hours, we're out
Trolling them.
and we're fishing and everything. He ain't looking too good.
oh no.
Are the waves just doing
Oh, yeah.
this? That
Oh,
was
yeah.
me in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
get seasick too if I don't take those little, what is it?
Dramamine.
Yeah.
Dramamine, yeah.
Yeah.
So
After that, I'm good.
So he hung over that rail for a little bit, and then he went inside and laid down, and then he was setting up for a little bit. And I went in there and got a cheeseburger, a Coke. I sat down right next to him. I went, "How you doing?" I took a bite out of the cheeseburger and was sitting there. It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
You're like,
But the
now-
best thing I loved about all of it, though, was standing on the bow of that boat and watching those dolphins. Oh, my God.
I have wanted to like swim with dolphins before. I heard that's really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And unless they want to pick you up and carry you somewhere. I mean,
Down, down, down.
Oh no! Have you seen the
I
things
like to play.
where? Yeah, that too. Apparently, there's some places. I think it's in the Bahamas that you can like swim with the big pigs.
Oh, yes.
My friend and her husband did that on the trip, and I'm like, that looks like fun. And like, I could get in the water with some pigs.
only thing I'm wondering right now is, do sharks like bacon? I mean
Hey, I can.
they do.
Hey, if they go
Everybody
pig
does.
and not me, that's fine. Poor little piggy. But,
Everybody
you know,
likes bacon.
everybody likes bacon.
everybody likes some bacon, man.
You're making me hungry.
I know. Oh, that sounds good. I'm like, what are we eating on the way back?
I don't even know if I got bacon in the fridge or not. Sitting here trying to think. I know I got some deer meat.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's always-
yeah. I love venison.
Every time I go home, I go into my brother's freezer. A lot like that one.
What you got in here?
Got
some jerky?
Yep. I always bring a cooler home. I learned my lesson.
Every season, my dad, he's like, "Do you want some this year?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want some.
Of course I do.
I like to eat."
Well, I got some backstrap in there if you want some backstrap.
Oh man, speaking my language.
Yeah. I'll take some. Is that our parting gift
I'm
today?
like, yes,
Damn.
that'll be the best podcast I've ever been on.
We'll come podcast every month for
Yeah,
some deer meat.
we'll be here next week for dinner.
That's
so
right. Show up
Actually,
unannounced.
I am thinking about doing a thing where I just invite some friends up and have a big cookout and do a podcast
Like a
sitting around the campfire.
Yeah.
That could get crazy real quick.
I know.
As it should.
We're
I would
coming.
I would definitely have to put a disclaimer at all of it.
Yeah. You got to make sure the local hotels are available for rooms.
No. We're gonna put
Or
cots
campers,
everywhere.
cots, and yep.
This is where you pass out.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna buy me a little pop-up camper that I can just take
Do it.
wherever when I want to go drink with friends. And
That's a good idea. Just
Right.
pop up.
Right,
Yeah.
I don't want to Uber. But I live
Yeah.
in Spring Hill, so it's like way
Yeah.
too far south
We
to
live.
drive.
Yeah, we live far
Yeah,
away
that's
from
right.
everything.
We do.
Yeah, but when you get big enough, you can just call the tour bus company and say, "Hey, I feel like drinking. Take me."
Yeah.
Take me. we need a bus.
You know, we used to do that back in the day in high school. We
You had a tour bus?
We get one of those big party buses.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, but we had dirt roads in our hometown. That was like
Yeah.
what you do growing up is you ride dirt roads, which is pretty good because you really go about 15 miles per hour. So if you get in a wreck,
it ain't too
it's
bad.
pretty harmless. But
Yeah, it's pretty much oops, back up, try it again.
exactly.
You
But,
know.
but yeah, we take the party bus on the
That's
dirt in our
hilarious.
formal dresses. We were real classy.
That's what we did for fun.
Real classy.
Real classy.
That's all we did on weekends for fun. I mean,
That's all you
A
have to
field
do.
party or like
Field
yeah, that's
parties
how.
and-
Yeah.
And
well, Mike's
wouldn't want to grown up any other way.
Mike's granddaddy, he had 100 acres,
Yeah, we grew up on a farm. We had a
and
family and
we were all the time out there. Mm-hmm. And there was 3 big, huge ponds. We go out there, go fishing. Man, we go up there, go 4-wheeling,
oh, I love
ride dirt bikes,
Yep.
do all kinds of stuff.
We grew up on a farm, and we would every weekend I'd have the girls over, and we'd camp out, and we'd ride 4-wheelers, and we lived on this hill. We'd get this big tarp, and we'd put soap and water on it. And we'd do like
Oh yeah,
the slip and slide and
Yep.
stuff, and I loved like growing up like that. Like you don't really get that unless you're from the South. I feel like.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, I think that's the sad part about today is that there's so much less of that, like in society, people
Yeah.
raising their kids, less to be like in the country and the outdoors and what. I mean, I did because I grew up, like that, riding dirt bikes and
Yeah.
4-wheelers and
Same.
Yeah.
my dad owned an asphalt company and my mom owned a landscape company, and we were always working in the yard or fishing or,
Yep.
just learning about life in all different kinds of ways. And we only had 10 acres, but you grow up around people where everybody, you just roam on everybody's land and everybody
Yeah.
looks out for each other, and, got grandparents, 2 plots over that
Right.
aren't really your grandparents, but, and
Yeah.
so I think, yeah.
Ethel, call Hannah's mama.
yeah,
I got to talk to
literally.
that girl.
You don't need a phone. There's a human GBA like binoculars out the door. Like,
Let's go on the front porch, start yelling.
seriously.
I know. Like I think about that all the time. Like kids are not outside playing as much. Like we were always outside until the lights came on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were still outside.
Yeah.
Like, and we'd play hide and seek and tag and ride our bikes and go up to the playground. Like,
Yeah.
we weren't playing video games and we weren't on our phones. And like, it just blows my mind. Like, I'd be bored sitting inside playing a video game. Like,
Well, Sam Brooks, he was a guest on the show, and he's a indie movie actor, and he's actually done a lot of stuff. I can't remember what all he's worked with, but I'd have to go look it up. But anyway, he's like 26, 28 years old, and he drove up here, and it was refreshing to have a conversation with him because he made the comment, we're out in the country a little bit. I figured there'd be more people outside playing.
Yeah.
Where's everybody at? And I said, they sitting in a home
Yeah.
playing Nintendo or whatever they're playing nowadays.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
If and when I have kids, they will not be doing that. They'll be playing sports. They'll be outside.
Yeah.
Get out of my hair. Go do something. Go be a kid. Go get dirty.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think a lot of it is like you got to do it with them. A lot of parents like,
yeah.
and they're blaming the kids for being what they are, but it's our responsibility to lead by example. So I think
For sure.
I think musically, like that's kind of where where I sit, and it's not following the limelight and the bright shiny stuff, but doing what's right for me, and I think the right example to set for
Absolutely.
whoever's watching. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
look at us getting deep.
Swing low.
Sweet chariot.
Lord. You know, I ain't even looked at y'all's notes.
Oh, do we have
Oh,
notes?
you had notes?
I was looking over there. That's why I asked you earlier. I was like, you got any fun questions?
I
over
didn't even
there?
notice that. I just thought they were the papers we were writing on earlier.
No.
Look at me, I'm oblivious to what's going on.
There's Hannah's stuff.
There's my stuff.
He's got.
all kinds
So
of
what
good-
were
Your
you
stuff.
doing this
That's our
weekend?
bio stuff.
What were you drinking at the festival?
That's
what
right.
were you doing?
This is way more interesting. You can look up online and learn about our bios and our
Oh, yeah.
tour dates, but
Yep.
you can't.
See, I
get
got
in
to take my
between.
glasses off to read up close.
Look at you.
I know, right?
I know we're getting there. I'm getting there.
All right. Taylor had her debut single of Good Taste.
Yes.
Then you had another song called Praying to the Whiskey.
The whiskey, yes.
Wonder where you got that song.
I wrote that song with my daddy. Which is funny. It's like my fans' favorite song. Play that whiskey song. And then,
Yeah, and then you co-sponsored for the annual Bourbon Bash.
yeah, that was fun. It was a few years ago. And
That was a top bourbon podcast. Bourbon with Friends.
Bourbon with Friends, yeah. I've done a few things with them, and
Yeah. What I really like, though, and that's what I announced on before you come on stage, was Emerging International Artist of the Year in the UK.
yeah, it's kind of funny. During the whole COVID thing, I think a lot of artists were either they stopped doing music completely and kind of lost themselves, or they dived in and figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
And that was what I did. I was like, I'm not going to let this stop me. Like, this is what I love to do. We're going to make it work. So I did a ton of live streams. And that's how I grew my fan base over in the UK and Ireland and Australia. And I still talk to fans over there today, and they're, when are you coming over here to tour? And I'm like, well, if you find me some venues that will pay me, I'll come over
yeah.
there.
Pay me to jump over this pond.
Yeah, but like, I'm there. You tell me when and where. Like, but I think that's just, they play my whiskey song over in Ireland a lot that song was nominated for International Song of the Year over 2021, I think is when it was, over in Ireland. And
Yeah.
I almost have like a little family over there just from that song. And that's cool what, we complain about social media because it is a pain in the butt, but it also has there are good
Look.
things about it.
There are.
Who do you think started all that crap, though? Bieber.
Bieber.
Justin Bieber blew up
The Biebs.
on
He
social
did,
media.
yeah.
That was the Ursher. It was YouTube.
Yeah.
It was
It was
YouTube. I was about to say it was YouTube.
It was that
but
antique
Yeah.
thing called YouTube.
I ain't gonna lie. I like
I
me
love
some
me some-
Justin Bieber. I
know.
shame. I know. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. I like that
earned
Christmas song he did when he was younger.
And you still have those band bangs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't listen to his
That's
stuff
awesome.
that he's done like recently. I like his old like young Bieber days.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
While he was still Bieberlicious.
Yeah, right.
Biebs.
The Biebs. He's like a guilty pleasure kind of thing for me.
Oh my God. I love it. Oh.
I swear my taste in music is good, but sometimes you gotta throw those
You got
those
to.
weird things in there.
We were all
Hey.
teenagers at one time with bad
Exactly.
taste in music.
I used to get made fun of because I was a heavy metal head. And then I went to, for some reason, I don't know why, but other bands started sticking with me more, like Journey and Styx.
Yeah, yeah.
And, sometimes, like, even if I'm, like, taking a shower or out doing something, I'll just start singing, Lady. And it just goes from there. And I'll sing the whole damn song. But I can't remember the whole damn song to the lyrics of You Got Another Thing Coming. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's funny what your brain, like,
Remembers and what it
Yeah.
holds on to.
Yeah.
Attached to memories and things and all that fun
Well, it's
stuff.
like when I meet people, I'm terrible with names.
I am too.
I'm so bad. And I tell people, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm going to forget your name, but your face, I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
Well, yeah.
But like when it comes to like songs, I know them instantly. It's weird. And like numbers, I'm really good with memorizing numbers and stuff. So I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like what your brain is like, yep, we're going to keep this in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want any of that.
Well, see, like, if I'm out in public or doing whatever and I meet somebody, okay, yeah, how you doing? Nice to meet you, blah, 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 and I won't know your name from then on.
Yeah. They say you're supposed to like repeat it multiple times, like say it back
Well,
to
that's
them.
my thing.
Yeah.
See, now that y'all have been here, sitting on the podcast. I don't know you because of freaking Bowling Green, but Hannah.
And we partied over the weekend.
Yeah. If I see Hannah out somewhere, I'll remember her name, and part of her bio, and it's just amazing how my brain works. It's weird.
It is. I know. I always tell people, I was like, it's like a floppy disk. Like you only have so much storage, or like today with this iCloud, unless you update your gigabytes, you'll have so much storage. So you got to start deleting stuff. If you want some new stuff, you got to decide what's important. And
Well, let's say a long time ago, it was called, you got to defrag your hard drive.
Defrag the hard drive. I say we still call it that. I know. There's too many terms I don't understand these days flying around.
So you started in a church choir.
I did.
And your papa played guitar and your grandfather was a pianist.
Yes. And
You just had music all in your house.
it was, it's funny because it's like, I didn't really hear my grandfather growing up, and my dad kind of played closet guitar by that time. And so, it was just, it's just kind of born into you. And I think I always tell people I talked before I sang.
Yeah.
Or I sang before I talked.
I was fixing to say, you better turn
Everything.
that back around.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like I'll be, in surgery and I'll have to run out of the room to go get something. And for some reason, the time that it takes me to go somewhere, I have enough time to sing a song. I'm just like our brains are always running and going and
sometimes
doing
I
that
can
stuff.
actually time how much time goes by if I sing a song.
If you sing, well, that's how when we wash our hands, we have to sing the happy birthday song twice because it tells us we washed them long enough. Everything's a song. Everything has the ability to be a song, and I think that's the cool part.
That's what's weird, because y'all got to wash your hands, and then you got to put on those gloves.
I just my poor hand. I mean, I'm like I just try to hide them.
I've known. I have known a couple.
They age me.
I've known a couple of nurses that actually had where it was like their hands was just like peeling leather.
Yeah. It's just like, it's funny because like guys, most of them like kind of more just not beat up hands, but I'm like, I'm a nurse, I'm a musician.
Yeah. There's no having
and I fix
nice
things
fingernails.
like, and you want me to get my nails done. Like those gel nails, those dip, that shit don't last.
It does not.
2 days, maybe 2 days. And I'm like, no way.
My hands be looking ratchet all the
Right.
time.
I just put them in my pocket.
Exactly. I'm like, please don't look at my hands.
I
Like,
do my toenails.
that's what I do. Like, I'll get my toenails done. But like, if you're playing guitar and stuff, and just like all the things that you do, like it just gets ruined. So like, why waste the money?
Nobody knows how Dolly Parton does what she does. Nobody knows.
She's like a unicorn. She's
she
like
plays
magic.
with
I don't
1-inch
know.
nails. So.
I don't know how people live just like in general. Like I see people who have these long nails. I'm like, how do you go to the bathroom?
It is
How do
amazing.
you?
That has been my
how do you
biggest
do
question.
that?
It's amazing.
I would break that instantly.
See, I'll break that into two parts. Mm-hmm. With the women, you got the nails that freaking long and all that other stuff.
It's also kind of
How in the hell do you wipe?
yes, like you be stabbing yourself,
Yeah.
or stabbing other people.
And then the other
I'm
side
that
of it.
person that tries to figure it out. So in my head right now, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm visioning
Okay.
somebody with nails. Like,
So the other flip side to that, let's go to the guys.
If guys have long nails, it's gross.
No, I'm talking about the bodybuilders.
oh, okay. Like the overcompensation
Yeah.
of muscle,
You know,
in general. Yeah.
yeah, they're just these big, huge guys.
Yeah.
How do they?
They can't even hardly
around.
get their arm down.
Yeah,
How the hell do they wipe? They got a handler.
I've never thought
They
about
can't.
that.
They can't put lotion on their back. I do know
No.
that. Like
They
She
can't.
has experience
I've
with people
seen,
like this.
I've heard. I dated a fitness model one time. It wasn't even dating. It was, it was. I'm single. You're single, and yeah, let's just hang out. And,
Yeah.
and because I'm like, I don't like to. I'm not one of those girls that likes to jump around, or So I was like, even I'm committed in a friends with benefits thing. But I just remember he was like.
yeah.
And he wasn't that bright, so I was like, "All right, listen."
That's why he was so built.
I've learned when people do extreme things, it's overcompensating for something.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't necessarily mean the same thing. It just means you're overcompensating.
Well, it's not on an
You know,
individual
it's
equipment
not-
basis.
And
I mean,
that's what people, they're like, I'm not ever, and I'm like, I'm not
I
talking
love-
about your junk.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just, you know,
you've got issues.
you're hiding something.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with you.
And I smell it, and I'm not coming near you with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
I love where this conversation's
Hey,
going.
it's so fun to talk with single women. We got all kinds of stories.
Oh, yeah.
We got all kinds of stories. Taylor, on the other hand, she's
Oh, I got
she's got
plenty
different
of stories.
She's got the
But,
married woman stories. Those are fun too.
Well, see,
I
that's
got
what was
lucky
weird.
that I got me a good man.
You
I will
do.
say,
You do.
I got me a good one. He
But-
can't drive stick, but he's still a good man.
Yeah.
We don't love him for that. We don't love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let that one slide.
Okay. But yeah, that was what was weird when I was growing up in school and everything, because I had more female friends than I did guys.
Mm-hmm.
All my
Because I
friends
would
were
sit and
boys.
cut up with them and
Slip,
talk to
yeah.
them, you know.
Yep.
And that's the girl that helps me with the show.
Yep.
We went to high school together,
Oh,
and we're just real good friends.
yeah.
Yep.
You know, and she loved the whole thing that I was doing, and she was like, "Hey, if you need help," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
can you do
yeah,
this,
sure.
this?" You know, because
Do all
If
this.
you're asking, absolutely.
I promised her a pickup truck if this thing ever took off.
Oh, I like
Hell
that.
yeah.
But I'm kind of like in the same boat as you guys, because it's the likes, the shares, the subscribers, so I can get guests on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people love the whole format that I've created here. And you know, it's actually, I think you told me, Taylor, that I was like an artist,
Yeah.
and or we were drunk. I can't remember, but anyway.
I can't remember the exact words
Yeah.
you
And that's something that I just I don't know, I just love doing this and everything, and it's fun, and she wants to help, and I'm happy for the help, because you've literally, I did not realize how much this was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That was going to be my question. Did y'all realize what you was getting into when you first started doing the music?
I think that's no, I think that's like when you said we're starting talking about that. I was like, I was getting triggered. Like, you have no idea how much
Work and
work it is and how much help you need. And
Yeah.
but then to see people just come out of the random woodworks, you
Yeah.
know, and want to be a part of your journey and want to help out in random ways and
Yeah.
whatnot. But still, even with help, like
it's hard.
it's hard. There's
You-
always something new coming around the corner.
Yeah.
That, you know,
truly have to love what you do to be in this business. Like,
Truly.
you can't be doing it for any other reason.
Yeah.
Now, you know, if money comes along and those big opportunities come along, that's great. That's part of the hard work. Well, if I could talk, the hard work you put into it. But like, if that's your only reason for doing this, you're in the wrong thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
the amount of money that we spend on traveling and equipment and
Oh yeah. I spent
lessons and just like what we do, like, it's hard, but we do it because we love it.
yeah,
well, see, I volunteered. I donated back to the show, and I was out of pocket maybe $250 traveling expenses back
Yeah.
and forth. If I had to get a hotel room or whatever like that, then that would have been more. Thank God they had the house.
I know. I said, you coming back to the house to
That's
party with us.
gold right there. That's gold.
Oh yeah, and they fed us.
Yeah.
That's gold too.
Gotta eat.
Oh, you got
I don't know who had that pizza that was in the house, but man, it
Morgan.
tore me up.
Morgan and them
no.
had ordered pizza. I didn't eat any of it.
I don't even know what name was on the freaking box. It wasn't Domino's, I can tell you that.
Well, we were out in the middle of nowhere, so that's why I was like, where did they get pizza?
right
like,
from a local gas station.
like, yeah. Oh God, that you should never eat gas station
Local
food.
gas
Okay.
Uncle Grumpy's Pizza Palace? I don't know.
Oh, well, the fact that it's called grumpy should be a key indicator that you gonna be grump. Your
Like
stomach's
my
gonna.
I have no
Really?
clue if that's what it was, but but it was just,
hilarious.
man, it was just, ugh.
Yeah.
And your dad ate the whole piece.
Oh,
and I was just like,
Oh, he was fine.
no, he sat there and he told me, because I sat there and
Oh,
I
he didn't tell me he was.
I ate 2 bites of it, and he ate the other whole piece that was left. And I said, man, I just can't stomach this. And he's like, I can't either, but it's food.
My dad is like, if you look up like country boy in the dictionary. Like that is him. He is, you know, if he's hungry, he's going to eat it. Like he is hunting and fishing and doesn't care, you know. He doesn't have to have 5-course, 5-star meal. He's like, if it's food, it's food. I'm eating it. When he gets hurt, I can't tell you the number of times I've called him. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm sewing my finger up. I'm like, you're sewing your finger? Yeah, I shot a nail through my hand. I'm like, you need to go to the hospital. And he's like, nah, I'll fix it myself.
Yeah.
He's just like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, oh God, that's so gross. Like the number of times because he works in construction. So like he's constantly, the number of times he's put a nail through his hand or a staple. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, nah, just sew it up. And he's like, watch. And I'm like, I'm not watching that.
It's easy.
He's like, it's fine. Yeah. Needle and thread, like, no.
Doesn't even numb it.
Like he's fine. He's just a rough man's man. Like
that was my grandfather. He'd go get a root canal without any numbing.
Yes.
Just like,
my dad, well, let me tell you this. My dad had a stroke it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. He drove himself to the hospital.
Oh, man. Yep.
Because he was like, I don't feel right.
Yep.
Knew started to realize what was happening, drove up on the curb, parked his truck on the curb, walked in, looked at him, I think I'm having a stroke, and was out. None of us knew where he was.
Oh no.
You said, oh, well, I was having a stroke, so I drove myself. And we were like, what?
You're like, thank God you made it.
Yes,
and
like,
didn't pass out on the way.
it's just like, he's just like that. Like, he does not ask for help. He does not rely on anybody else. He's a man's man. He does not care. He's just,
and as a man's man, I will say, that's a tough motherfucker.
You don't mess with Paul Hughes. Let me tell you, the number of people I've met, like just that he like grew up with, they're like, well, let me tell you something about your dad. You did not mess with him because he was beating you up. If you did. And like when he met my mama, she, you know, I guess back then, like you would go on dates. I guess that's not, I don't know if that's a thing like now. Like you go on dates.
Now I don't even know what they do.
I don't know. I'm single and I can't figure it out either.
I always joke around. If me and my husband ever got divorced, I'd be lost. I don't know what to do.
Girl.
But like,
don't do it.
She was like dating a few people and she met my dad. My dad wanted to take her out. And guys that like knew her were like, we can't see each other anymore because you're dating Paul Hughes. Like the whole town knew who my daddy was. I'm like, my dad is so nice.
Yeah, but see, back then,
but he would kick your ass. Let me tell you, he still would.
It's like putting our war paint on. They gotta.
but there was a level of respect back then that men had for each other.
I think people were just scared of my dad.
Well, it doesn't matter, but back then there was a level of respect. And if you could whoop everybody's ass in town, there was a higher level of respect.
My dad was that man.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
And
but
it's so funny because
See,
like, my dad's a big teddy bear, and they're like,
Not
from
You should have seen him in 1984.
have you ever seen him in person, Hannah?
Have I seen? I have not.
Have you never met my dad?
No, I think I've only met your mom.
Well, see, me and him was cutting up and
And
talking
he's a
and
big
everything.
old boy.
Yeah.
And at the
I've
show,
seen pictures, but
and I walked around behind him and I just kind of like tapped him on the back, you know, and kind of done that, you know, and I was like,
you feel
he ain't moving.
He's
What
like
the
he's like
hell?
a brick wall. Like
because y'all work out together, right? Doesn't he do a lot of fitness too?
But he's just always been like.
Yeah.
He's an old time.
Your hands.
He's a good. He's country strong. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, you know, the cow punching guy.
That's right.
Ones that just walk up, slap the cow, and the cow knocked out. Yeah, that's him.
Pretty much. Let me tell you, my mom's gonna kill me.
Oh, no.
My mama's a tough lady
Oh,
too.
hell.
Wait,
Look, wait. I want to make sure I got the right
Change
camera
that
on
camera
you.
angle. Hold on.
Okay, now we got the right camera angle.
I got that one where you can see your eyes.
I got a funny story for y'all. So back in the high school, we went to go see Jason Aldean. He was playing at Rupp Arena. You know, it was me and my boyfriend, my mom and my dad. And my mom has this tendency to think that she needs to fix everyone's problems, even if we don't know
she's
who
a
they
sweetheart,
are.
though.
Oh, my mom, she is the biggest heart. But we were leaving the concert and we were walking out to the car and there was these guys bigger than my dad getting in a fight. My little mama's like, we got to stop that. So she starts running over there and my dad's like, no. And then I had like twisted my ankle, so I'm on crutches, and I'm like, wait for me, like chasing them. And like my mom like tries to get in to break up this fight, and my dad picks her up, and he's like, no. And like my dad gets in there, and he's like, stop. And he thinks that like everything's calmed down. And he's talking to a guy. Well, another guy comes up and tries to get my dad. And my mom clotheslined this guy.
Oh,
and, like,
damn.
He was bigger than my dad. And like my mom said, I don't think so. And clotheslined him. And I said, don't mess with Susan.
No.
Don't mess with sweet mama Susan. Like she's just, and my mom she's shorter than me. She's 5'3", this little lady. And she's very quiet until she's laughing. But she was like, not my man. And she clotheslined this dude.
But see, that's something you don't find nowadays. You don't find a woman that will step up and help her man.
You don't mess with my man.
I was about to say.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
I don't know. I think you.
I feel like you and I
do.
would.
Yeah.
I think it's just how you're raised. Like,
I think now there are too many women stepping up. Be like, I got this.
Yeah, like I always say, I'm like, honey, I got your back, you know. And my husband's not a big dude, but he's crazy. Like, don't mess with Drew. Like, it's kind of like my dad. Like, you don't mess with Paul, and you don't mess with Drew. But like, someone went after my man.
Yep.
The Hughes is coming out.
Yep.
Yep. Clothesline time.
I'm gonna clothesline you. I know how to do it. I've seen my mama do it. But I'm a lady. Don't get me wrong.
That's right. Well,
when I need to be.
I think that's what defines a lady, actually. You know, the ability to hold it together.
I agree with that.
Until pushed.
Until you know you have to.
And you just
and then you
you
just break out the WCW real quick, and it's over.
I think that
Like,
I think that's the thing about women. It's like we can just flip it so like drastically. You're like,
oh, who would mess with her?
I didn't know that was in there, and you're like, oh, it's in there.
It's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Don't push the wrong button.
Nice until.
Well, it's funny because like I'm usually pretty like quiet. You've never seen that side of me, but like if I'm comfortable,
when in the hell are you quiet?
It's funny because like I've always been just super shy and like quiet, and like I'm very much a people watcher.
Yeah.
Like I am very observant. I know what's going on at all times. And when I got into music, everyone was like, Taylor's doing what?
Yep.
Taylor doesn't talk.
Yep.
Like I don't really.
And now she's getting on stage singing.
Yeah, and they didn't believe it, and like now like. And what's funny is that like still when I get off stage, I'm very down to earth, and I like to, if I'm comfortable with you, like I'll talk like this and stuff. But a lot of times I'm just very much in the background until I get on stage, but I still am like truly me on stage. Because that's what, you know, it's weird. And I don't know, I'm quiet until you push the wrong button.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that kind of leads into something that I could ask Hannah.
Yes, sir.
When you was doing the nursing and everything, and then you went into being a traveling nurse, and you're still singing, you're doing all this stuff. Was people surprised when you started writing and actually started performing shows?
Yeah. So actually, like my story is kind of pretty different, I think, from a lot of people's. I didn't know music was an option. You know, I was lucky to be able to go and get a college degree, and you know, I married my high school sweetheart. Like I didn't know it was an option, and then I got this random opportunity. And I, you know, was like, okay, well, wow. I didn't even know I was good enough. Yeah. And so I kind of started working towards it, but it took years for me to get the courage to even get up on stage. So I divorced my ex-husband. I left home in, I think 2012, and I went to Atlanta for a couple years as a travel nurse and did some stuff there and played a festival, and, you know, wasn't really playing the guitar. And then I made it to Nashville just because I wanted to be around the music, but I didn't think I was good enough, and was here 4 years before my buddy Dustin Herring that I'd written, you know, some music with, called me out and was like, all right, you need to get out here. Like you're getting in a writer's round. And I was like, but Dustin, you know, I don't like playing guitar, and I'm not that comfortable in this, that, and the other. And so he sent me this guitarist who ended up being Jake Curry, who is now Priscilla Block's guitarist.
Yeah.
And
I didn't realize that.
Oh, one of the most amazing people. And
he's a phenomenal guitarist.
He's a phenomenal guitarist. And I'm just so proud of him. But, you know, I got to to sit up there with Jake and shaking in my boots, play my first writers round. And it was, after that, it was just like, I couldn't not.
Yeah.
And every single time I get up there, I'm still shaking in my boots.
Yeah.
And I still have moments where I don't feel like I'm good enough, but I know that that's the voice in my head. And all, the only thing that you can do is just keep saying yes and keep taking opportunities and doing the things that scare the shit out of you, because that's where growth and, and all these amazing things come at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I've heard like a gypsy, and it didn't sound like you were shaking.
Right. That's really good production right there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Donnie Reese with the War Hippies.
Okay, look, auto-tune does not take out shakiness,
you're
okay?
Right, you're
I'm
right.
just telling you.
We don't do auto-tune, so.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Everybody does a little tuning. You got to do a little bit.
Let me tell you, I can hear a song and tell you if it's auto-tune or
Oh,
not.
absolutely.
Thank you.
And that's just from the engineering part that I used to do.
Yeah.
And, it's like a lot of people that I've talked to, they go in and it's like everybody now is looking for that warmth, that sound that I used to record.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I find it hilarious, but I find it warming.
That people want real instruments.
People want
And real people
real.
playing real instruments.
Yes.
Ain't it crazy? Ain't it crazy?
It's crazy, and I love it.
Thank God, because
I'm the same way. I
Yeah.
do not like the pre-recorded or
Yeah, I know, me and you
tracks
talked
stuff
about
like
that.
Not about it.
if you give me some drums, I'm you're.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
done working together. Like,
Yeah,
Is that a pad?
there better be a dude with a hi-hat and a stick.
Right.
All right.
And it's like, I respect that technology to come along, and there's some things that sound real good, but at the end of the day, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, there's something about it. Like if you can't sit in that room and know that all of those things that on that album, were played by real people with real hands. Like, I don't know, what is it then? It's just another AI invention to me.
Well, I mean, that's one of the biggest compliments I get on this podcast, how good it sounds.
Yeah, the quality.
And it's just my background.
Yep.
I was reel to reel guy, man,
Yes.
before the ADAT even come out.
Yes.
And that was fun because you had one reel to reel, you recorded on it. Then you took whatever was on that reel to reel and you put it over to another reel to reel. And then you kind of matched them up. And that's how you layered your song. And it was all instruments, raw, live.
yeah.
Yep.
There was no digital, nothing. It was all just good old warm
Yep.
tubes and analog. And
Yep.
God, I loved every minute of it.
Old school
Yep.
stuff.
I remember in middle school, we learned how to record like a show. But back then there was no edit. It was like you hit that record button and you better get it right.
Yeah.
You can hit pause, you can hit stop, but you can't reverse and hit undo. And it just, it gave you so much respect for that preparation, and keeping a cool head. And I think when you can't go back and edit something, you approach it from such a different angle.
Yeah.
Oh, for
And
sure.
in such a different way. And I'm trying to get that back into my artistry and back into my songwriting and, and just letting things sit and live and whatnot. So
I want you to tour some more.
that's something that I didn't know I was going to fall in love with. Like, being in Texas and going on tour with that band, like, I just love it. I love it so much. But I think when I moved back here, I tried to put together a little Nashville band, and it quickly, had its Nashville problems.
Yeah, it didn't have the same feel.
It didn't have the same staying power. I can't imagine there's such talent, but I just personally
What you need to
like
find.
to know who I stand on stage with.
Yeah.
What you need to find is some fellas that have never freaking been on that stage.
Well, and that's you have to sacrifice. You have to choose a little different, of a layout, but the Austin band travels, and they, and they're, if I could convince them to move to Nashville, I would.
Well,
I tried that at
they might come up every
Right.
now and then.
Right. But yeah, the touring part, it's like, like what Taylor said, I think there were a couple different avenues during the pandemic, and touring was taken out of a lot of it. But I just couldn't do the live stream or the streaming. I just like, I hate the camera. I hate being videoed. Like,
Why?
I hate it so
What?
much, even though
Look.
like, I know. Hey.
You're absolutely gorgeous.
Side out of mine.
But it just like, there's something about it. Like, I feel like I just automatically like switch into like this performance thing instead of being natural. And so I had to create a way to still get out there, and touring in Texas, you know, was an opportunity. And
Yeah.
man, like to meet people where they are in their space and their hometown, like, you know, because we all think like, I just can't wait till I'm on that big stage, and everything until then is just, you know, but I'm like, I love these little stages. I love these little, you know, crunch you into this tiny stage with your 5-piece band, you know, in the middle of nowhere. But
Oh yeah.
God, you know, those people, those are the ones you meet, and they will follow you for life.
Oh yeah. They will.
And so it's just like, that's what I'm trying to get more of. But, you know, logistics are hard. And what we've run into is there are a lot of people trying to do what we're doing.
Yeah. There's a lot.
And booking is just terrible these days. Like, I mean, there are a million people trying to come in and get the same gigs that you're getting. So a lot of it's hustle.
A lot of competition.
A lot of competition, a lot of hustle. And I think a lot of us would probably be more busy if we could be. And that's
Well, I don't know. I might have to. No, I'm not getting back in the book.
don't do it, bloodbath. Pull your hair out.
Well, I mean, you know,
But I
here's-
mean, you know, there are opportunities, I think, in your
Here's the
job
thing.
to help.
I've run into so many talented people,
Yeah.
and then I run into people that have God given talent, like you and Taylor. Ashley's one too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just, I could quit the podcast and make a shit ton of money just booking the hell out of y'all. But,
Yeah.
Hey.
but then Taylor's dad would be coming up going, she needs to go home sometime, you know.
Dude,
No,
Taylor's
my
dad would
dad-
be on the road with us.
Yeah, my dad loves this stuff, and he tries to keep
He
me
does.
busy, and
He does. You can
that's
see
so cool.
it.
yeah, I'm very blessed to have my family support, because, you know, I did go to school for a little while, and then I decided that I was wasting my time. I was like, what I want to do is music. Why am I sitting here going to classes and wasting money when this is what I want to do? And I remember going to my parents being like, I'm done. I'm going to do music full time. And, you know, most parents would be like, no, you're not. And the first thing my dad was like, all right, let's do this.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do
And
it.
there, and you know, I remember him saying, and I keep this always with me, is like, there is no plan B. If this is what you want, you're all in. And my parents are definitely all in. And
Oh yeah. I mean, your mom
I'm all
is.
in. And
You see Taylor, you see her mom.
It's special. It really
It
is.
my
is.
mom, she's
really
so
is.
funny. She gets so nervous whenever I do like a show or anything like that. And I'm like, Mom, you're not the one who has to get on stage. It's okay.
She's nervous because you're nervous.
Yeah,
She's like, I know you're nervous.
absolutely. And like,
Did
it's
you
just-
hear what she was wanting to do up there at the show?
oh God, what did she do?
Do tell. Do tell.
Oh no, but
She told your dad
oh no.
and told me she was going to take your merch tent and everything and put it in front of the bathrooms.
Oh yeah.
And charge them $25 to go to the bathroom, but you get a free shirt.
Yeah, I was like, all right, Mama, there you go. She said, no, and if they don't have any money, they ain't going to the bathroom. I said, there you go, Mom. She is my number one fan. Like, my dad and I obviously work a lot together on like the business side of it, but like my mama is the all-star fan. Like,
She is. She is just a cool, sweet lady.
she's the best. I love her.
I love that.
It's so funny. Like I said, like when we were doing like sound check, she was kind of nervous, and then like when I got on stage for the performance, I know she was probably shaking like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I sang the national anthem last year at the University of Kentucky versus Mississippi. It was our homecoming game, so there's 60,000 plus people there.
So crazy.
And I did not know there were that many people there. And let me tell you, I've never been that nervous in my life. I thought
That's a lot of freaking
It's a
people.
lot of people, and they aired it on television. And they didn't tell me that.
Good.
And till I was like literally about to go out there, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack on the field. But my mom, my parent, or my dad and my husband were there too, and they said your mom was shaking like a leaf.
Oh, I can imagine.
And just because she was so nervous for me, I was like, she was nervous. Try singing that song in front of all those people.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not just any song. Like, people are already judging you in like.
Yeah, and your voice is actually deeper than some of the females singing it.
Well, that's always been my biggest fear. I was like, please don't ask me to sing that. I should know. I mean, when you could figure it out.
It's like, I remember it, like it was almost one of those moments where I kind of blacked out because it was so surreal. But once I like got through it, I was like, I did it. Oh my God, I did it. And like I didn't die, and I think it went well. And
I didn't pass out. Everything's good.
Yeah, and it's funny. The video went viral on Facebook.
Yeah.
And like Facebook was messaging me like, do you want to monetize this and make money? And I just felt weird. I didn't do it.
You didn't?
I just feel weird making money off of something like that.
It's
I don't know.
It's such an interesting business. I know.
It's and like it's just
that's
like
your creative material.
I know. Well, I mean, and I still have it and stuff, and it's on all my socials and stuff, and it started going around again, which was pretty cool.
I did. I saw that. I was like, did you sing it again, or was that?
I did at the baseball game. I did a baseball game, and that's obviously not as big of a crowd, but it was still really cool that they called and they were like, would Taylor want to come back and do it for this? So now I'm like, all right, we got baseball, we got football. It's time for Rupp Arena. I need to be at the UK basketball game.
There you go.
And my husband's like, all right, make sure you're doing it at this game and we need tickets.
That's right. That's right.
I'm like,
not just tickets.
Yes.
and like
We need ringside.
Yeah. And like
Courtside.
UK basketball is like a religion in my household. So he's like, oh, I'll be there for that. I'm like, oh, will you be at that performance?
Yeah. You'll come out of the house for
you'll
that.
come out of the house for that one. But yeah, right. But he was there for the football one, which was it was great to have him there because it's funny the different dynamics I have with my parents when it comes to a show, and then my husband. My parents are very much, go out there, be on. You got to be on point, like the business side of it. Like everything needs to be perfect. And every time I talk to Drew, he's like, have fun.
Yeah, just have fun.
Have fun. You know what you can do. Don't be nervous. Don't get in your head.
Yeah.
And like, he was like, I have a tendency to just hone in on like the bad side of stuff just because, that's the business and we're in.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it and we want people to love us and we always feel like we need to be perfect and like it needs to be fun. And he is definitely a constant reminder, like, this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Like you have the coolest job. Like go out there, kick ass, do what you do. And like the fans will love it and they'll be able to feed off of that energy. Yeah. And like, I took that with me this weekend, like, cause I haven't performed with a full band in years. It's been a long time.
Oh, dude, you need to do it more often because that was kick ass.
Well, I was in like halfway through the set and I remember just I was talking to the crowd, but in my head, I was just thinking, this is happening right now and I'm having the time of my life. Like I was able to just kind of take it in and really just, appreciate the moment.
Yeah.
Cause I think sometimes we get lost in that and,
I had a really good time with that, and I really enjoyed announcing. And then,
it was awesome.
I announced for Taylor, and it was just like,
Hype Man is fun.
Yeah, right.
I love that, man.
It is.
Well, that one band, because I thought
Just
they
enough.
were, just enough. I had to have them play another song.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
We were trying to
kill some in between time.
Yeah.
So I told them, and I was just kidding. I said, play some Journey.
Yep.
Journey is a good 4 to 8 minute song,
You can make that last.
depending on your song.
Plenty of time, yeah.
And the little egghead freaking announced it on stage. David requested this Journey song. We're going to do this Journey for y'all. And I'm just like, dude.
They're gonna.
So they got close to the end of the song.
Mm-hmm.
I come running across the front of the stage, down on the floor. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yes, yes. You gotta have a hype man. Like if
You gotta
you're
do something.
if your MC isn't into it, then like it just kind of kills the buzz. Like they need to be just as excited
Yeah.
as you are to be there, and especially when
I
you got
loved
like
it.
a tough crowd too. Like
Yeah.
and a lot of artists feed off what the crowd is bringing.
Yeah.
And you just gotta go out there and make them
But I
have
mean, you
fun.
know, it's like during the day, I mean, a whole lot of them wasn't really drinking.
Yeah.
And then more towards the end of the night, they done had their dinner and everything else. A bunch of them left, went and had dinner and then come back.
Okay.
And that was during the Just Enough set.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because I'm a people watcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait a minute, that whole side is
Yeah.
gone. What the hell happened, you know?
And that's such a tough visual.
Yeah.
as an
Yeah.
artist. It's like
Yeah.
you know, they always tell you, you know, play to that one person, but you're like, when there's just one person,
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
not.
Luckily,
giving
they
you
all came
anything.
back by the time I got on stage.
Exactly.
We had
Oh,
a good
yeah.
old time.
It was like they just needed the food. That was a good time.
oh yeah.
It's time to party.
So Taylor did a real good job on the whole warming them up and getting them up a little bit more. Well, Morgan come on and they were a pretty good crowd, but they didn't really liven up until she started playing that drinking game with them.
Yeah. Well, you know, that always gets people going.
Was it the Hollow?
Little
But
liquor.
I'd never seen nobody do that before,
Yeah.
and I
I
thought
don't think
that
I've
was.
seen anyone
Did
do
she
that
play
either.
Broadway or something?
I'm sure she has.
I don't know.
She
I don't
lives
have
in
her background.
Nashville.
You got to get.
I don't know if she's moving to LA though. I don't know if I heard wrong or not, but she might be
I don't know.
moving. I feel like a lot of artists like that have been in Nashville are like moving to LA.
We're changing places
know.
because a lot of LA people came here, and so apparently
Well,
we're like,
you won't
know,
see me moving there.
right?
don't
People
think
are
so.
like,
With the taxes and everything out there, there's no way.
well, that's why they're all moving here, the musicians, because you know they just can't afford.
Well, you know why I
work
moved
and
out of
live
Nashville,
there.
don't you?
Same reason.
Taxes.
St. Austin.
Well,
you know,
yeah, Davidson County is really expensive.
it's gotten crazy.
Yeah.
I know. I had
My
a house
mother-
and ended up selling it because of that.
My mother finally sold her house
Yeah.
2 years ago, and she bought a house up here.
Yeah.
She sold the house down there, paid cash for the house up here, and still had like 30 grand left over.
Yeah. The market is crazy down here. Like,
It's nuts.
yeah. And it's not going to change. This is just such a hot spot, not even just for music. Like,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
so many people in like the medical field, like health cells and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of people in sales. And then obviously you have all the sports teams and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And that's the big
Crazy.
thing.
Yeah.
It's always growing.
2023 nominated for Best Female Vocalist, Best Country Artist, Best Original Song, and Social Media Influencer.
That's a lot, boo boo.
I won the country artist. Hey, I beat all the boys
I believe
too.
I said that.
So you
Yes,
got like
I was the
overall.
only female artist in that category, and I beat them.
Yeah. She whooped. She spanked her little hiney.
I did. I
honeys.
said, "Watch out, boys! I'm here. I ain't come to play." Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I like it.
You still got the Midnight Rivalry or Rivalry?
That's the Texas band, the Midnight Revelry.
Yeah, the Midnight Rivalry.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see you.
That's
play with them.
dude. There's
I do want to see that.
I love it.
man.
I love my band. It's a motley crew. So, they're all married, not to each other, but two couples. So my drummer.
I was not going to question that. I mean,
You know, it's
always-
2023.
Always throw it
so,
out there, and I'm like blah 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 blah.
you know, anything can happen
Anything
nowadays.
can happen. The mamas and the papas, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, my drummer and my lead guitarist are married, and then my bass player and my rhythm guitarist are married. And you know, we started out with different members, but my bass player is a nurse anesthetist, and so we were going to pick up a patient when I started working in Austin, and she was like, "What brought you?" I was like, "I came to start a band." She said, "Well, I'm a bass player," and I was like, "Well, okay." And
there we go. You want to play for me?
right. What I found out was that she's mainly grunge and
wow.
heavy metal, and so is her husband, who ended up coming in later on, and they
Yeah.
both transitioned into basically playing Southern rock and country
Yeah.
and blues, which is amazing. And then the other two, Charlie Murphy and Melody Zapata, they have a 3-piece, the Charlie Murphy band, and they're a little older, and they've been doing this for 30 to 40 years. And, you know, to have them and that talent is just ridiculous as well. And so, you know, and we've just become this little family that traveling mamas and the papas. I call myself the fifth wheel.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I was like, we should have been the fifth wheels.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So
The parties.
the parties.
And then you returned to Nashville to write and tour and shared the stage with Shelley Fairchild.
Oh, so that was actually, I ended up at the Loretta Lynn's ranch.
Yeah.
They do Tennessee Music and Motorcycle Revival
Mm-hmm. Every year.
every year.
I've
year.
never been there.
It's,
You've never been there? Oh, it's huge.
It's huge.
Where is it?
It's
That way?
It's in
That way.
It's called Hurricane Mills. Is the
Yeah.
Okay.
It's off I-40.
yonder?
Okay.
It's yonder.
Yeah, I think it's
Hell
exit.
yonder.
I
I can't remember its exit.
I can't remember either. But it's
152, I think, something like that.
I drove
don't
by
know.
a sign for it the other day, and I was like, you know what? I've never been there.
Yeah.
It's a it's the actual festival itself is a weekend of motorcycles and
Sounds
music
awesome.
and I mean I grew up on the back of a Harley and my parents went to Bike Week all over and
That's awesome.
and so my mom went with
I
me.
knew there was something I loved about you.
I was always told people on stage, I was like, I grew up in the back of a church and on the back of a Harley. And,
There you go.
And it shows. So,
And God bless them both.
and God bless everybody that has run into me along the way. No,
There you go.
it's, but yeah, so, it's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Thank you. It's like an oral thing. It's just like, you just got to have something. It's like, you just gotta have something. It's
well,
kinda-
did you see that she picked up my glass and she poured something?
She's not drinking it.
She go share.
Jeez.
I always share.
Oh, Lord.
I was like, she was probably like, I was saving that for the end, but
Nah,
fine.
girl, you can have whatever you want. I probably should not be having that.
Damn.
I had 2 old fashions
I'm
last
telling you,
night.
I have to have something to do with my hands, apparently.
You know, that kind of coincides with that, cut y'all did together, that pinky down, bottoms up.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think I
She researches the hell
I
out of
did.
people.
yes, she did good.
I love that.
She did really good. Yeah, we because I was just tired of writing sad songs.
Yeah, we had just met too.
We
and-
had, and I knew she was from Kentucky, and she was this Southern rock goddess, and I was like, well, I think I got this idea for a drinking song, and
I was like, hell yeah,
right,
let's do it.
she was like, well, I can do that, and my where I come from, they always taught you to put your pinky up when you're drinking. This is what ladies do, and this is what this, that, and the other. And I just realized, I was like, oh, well, let's write something about pinkies down, bottoms up, because I did research on it and realized that by putting your pinky up, that was how they did. I don't remember how many centuries ago, but when the ladies of the night were establishing their availability in the bars. And I was just like, how did that transition?
Hang on, let's signal now.
Yeah, like literally,
Put your pinky up.
If your pinky was up in a bar back in the day, men knew that you were
I wonder if that would work
for
now.
hire for the
Should we
evening.
test it? Let's go out one night and we're gonna put our pinkies up and just see how people stare at us. We're just gonna be
Exactly,
like,
because if I write music, I'm gonna research. I'm gonna make sure that So I
Yeah.
was like, that's funny. Now ladies are
yeah, right. I thought it was just a tea
lady
thing
on the
like-
street.
Yeah.
So what do they do? Just walk by and hook?
I don't
pinky, I
you
guess,
just hook a
or-
pink, you're mine and just go
Yeah,
out.
I think they just sit down and be like, I'll do
That's
something with
so
that
weird.
pinky.
Oh my god.
Damn
It's
it.
like, and this is when we end the show.
This is this. You need to put a disclaimer on this episode. Like, no, it was a
No,
fun
I've said
maneuver.
worse.
Yeah,
Have you? I'm sure I have too. It's totally fine.
yeah. I love doing that song. Though I remember my favorite person that commented on it when I was working in Austin. There's the chaplain of the hospital. She
Oh.
said that's the song that's gonna make it for you. I like the
so
chaplain's
good.
telling me my drinking song's going to be my big breaks.
Hey,
No, I remember her being like, "Well, I have this idea," and she said it, and I was like, "Oh, yeah."
I was like, I thought it was going to sound stupid. I was like, people would be like, "What are you talking about? Pinkies down?" Like, you know.
yeah.
No, it's like a ladies thing. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm always like, I'm a sucker for like a clever hook.
Well, see,
or a
that's what's
clever
weird because
song, like,
I know some guys that drink like that.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and it
They
you know,
confused.
yeah, and it's like there's a little more curve.
That's it.
Yeah, it's more like this.
It is, and it's I mean, it is kind of a sign of a gentleman type of thing, and so
yeah. Now that you
So,
say
yeah.
that, I'm thinking like, I think I've seen people do that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think just growing up in a very like you know, Stepford Wives type of town, like Southern living, you know, it's just like everybody. And I was just like, I just want to let loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to be all fancy when I'm getting down
This
on my
is why
beverage.
we.
I just want to relax.
We're like the
This is
same
why I can't wear
person.
dresses anymore because I'm out here drinking with my legs uncrossed.
That's how I am.
How do you
I
drink
sit,
whiskey?
I sit like a boy, and my dad's like, Taylor, why are you like? I'm like, you raised me this way.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, I hate wearing dresses. I do
know.
not do it. I don't wear skirts.
used to
don't wear
love
dresses.
'em.
Nope, I hate them.
Oh, I'm telling you right now,
love
if
it
I ever
now.
wore a kilt, everybody'd be getting a shot because I don't care.
Dude, but it's fun after a while. You're like, this is scary.
Yeah.
It's real fun. I know. That's just it. You just
That's what pissed me off about the new cars.
what?
They took that little vent up underneath the steering wheel away. You can't blow nothing in between your legs to cool down anymore.
I never even realized.
There's
that.
a. You
didn't
know
know
there
that
was a
There,
vent.
there sure there used to be at one.
There used to be a vent
Well,
down
now
there.
you can get car seats that have the air conditioning in. it.
That was
Yeah,
when-
that cools your tushy, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not the same.
that
it's
was-
not the same.
Not the same.
Well,
I wonder why they don't put that there anymore.
I don't know.
They probably just got too many electronics going through there.
Oh, yeah.
and all that, you know, since
All the
cars
crazy
drive
stuff.
themselves now.
no, that's
Yeah.
scary.
That's why I want to go riding in the Willis because,
Right.
you know, you just
I know.
you
I
got to
know.
worry about it.
No, you run into something and feel bad for that thing. That
We'll rewire that son of a bitch and go hit a creek.
That's it. I know. I used to take the girls riding dirt roads back in the day, load them up,
Yeah.
and just go rolling down the road. It was so funny. So funny.
So that's what y'all need.
Yeah. We used to ride the four wheelers
we
around.
we just need to make a music.
When's the
video
last time
for
you went
Pinkies
out?
Down.
When's the last time either one of y'all went out running them dirt roads?
It's been a long time. We just don't. Well, where I live, we don't have that. Like, we live in a neighborhood, so but like sometimes during the summer when we go back to like Lexington, we'll go out on the farm because my in-laws
Yeah.
have a cattle farm,
Yeah.
and we'll go out there shooting and like we'll hang out and do bonfires out in the barn and shoot guns and get rowdy and whatnot. Good old Kentucky party, the old-fashioned way of getting rowdy. But
I don't know. If you go up there and you have that, I'll go get Hannah and we'll just come up there and hang out.
Oh, yeah. The more the merrier.
I can't remember the last time, and that used to be the thing when I would go home. I'd go and hit the dirt roads, and then I guess I
Yeah.
got to a point in life where I thought I should be more mature,
Nah.
an adult, and not drink and drive.
We're musicians.
And I was like, it was just 15 miles per hour. But
Last time I did anything
my mom
was,
rode the dirt roads the other day.
I think it was 20.
Pam.
Me and my buddy Ronnie Mays took his Jeep Cherokee that was lifted, had 37-inch muds on it, and we went to Windrock,
Yeah.
and we rode out there all day. And the Jeep done real good all day until the last 15 miles home. And then you couldn't go over 5 miles an hour without the whole front end doing that. The stabilizer was totally messed up.
Done.
I think back in college, like even then, like, so I went to the University of Kentucky for a little bit, but I had a lot of friends that went to EKU, and like if you wanted to party, you went to Richmond,
Yeah,
Kentucky,
yeah.
because that was just the party town. And like we'd all get back. I can't even talk. We'd all hop in the back of a pickup truck, go down to the river or the creek.
Down to the river.
We go down to the river. You all park your trucks around, and that's what everyone was doing. We'd hang out in the creek and the back of the trucks and just party out in the middle of nowhere. Like
Yeah.
Chattahoochee came from way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. That's
it's hotter than a hoochie coochie. That's why they had That's why they had the air conditioning down there.
That's right.
That's right.
It was
took
that
it
extra
out.
vent, man. I'm telling you.
It gets really moist in the summer. How many people hate that word?
Oh,
I am not a fan of that word.
Y'all both.
I am not a fan of that word.
It's my nursing word that I'm like, let me see if I can make you feel uncomfortable today.
But everything is just so nice and moist.
I'm like,
It's moist.
but it's like you just can't use another word sometimes. You're like, it's just the right verbiage.
Yes.
Just is.
It's almost like you're describing cake or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I usually think about.
But sometimes I usually say, this is the right consistency.
Oh, yeah. That's boring.
That's boring.
I'm old. Who cares?
I love it. If you're not rattling a few cages, what are you doing? That's always
Trying to open a few.
Yeah. No, I've learned that. I learned
Are
that.
you putting hair on my microphone?
know,
what are
I'm
you
like-
doing?
I probably brought some from the house from all
me
the
too.
dogs and from
And my
Taylor's dogs.
dogs.
too.
They were like, new person.
I was like, yes.
No, there's two cats running around here, and that microphone usually sits on that shelf over there.
My husband says I shed worse than the dogs, and we have a husky. So if you know anything about how bad they shed, apparently I shed worse than that.
Hey, Hannah,
And I'm like, you wanted me
I
to
done
have
figured
long
it out.
hair.
What?
Oh no.
What is
I know
it?
what we can do.
What is it?
Oh
You
God.
tell.
We're going to get hooked up with Taylor. We're going to get her drunk.
Oh God.
Sounds like that's not hard.
Hey now. Hey, look at her call me out.
Sounds like she just wants to have a good time, just like us.
And we can do the ice bucket challenge on her just to make her hair poof.
Ooh. I was
The
actually
ice
going to
bucket
say something
challenge.
earlier. I was like, you hold her down. I'll give it one.
I did not sign up for this.
I want to see your hair.
I'm dying to see it now because I never, ever, this is all I've seen.
I know. I always have it straight.
But what I heard was it takes tequila, whiskey, and what else?
Tequila makes
To
her
get her-
clothes fall off and her hair curl up.
Lord.
Well, you just need to come out to the ranch and go swimming.
We'll do it.
That's what we need to do. Out to the ranch.
That sounds like fun.
I'll bring the cooler.
Come on. Come
I'll bring
on.
the this feels like a bad
I know.
idea for me to
I
go.
know.
I feel like I'm being hazed.
Bring your husband. Bring your husband.
Yeah.
He'll join you. He'll be like, get her.
I seriously do want to get together though. I live out on a
need to.
17-acre ranch in Spring Hill, and it's
Okay.
my best friend Phil's, and he's works construction and is on a 2-year project. And so when I moved back from Austin, I said, well, can I, rent a room and take care of the ranch and,
Yeah.
pay for my room and board. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing. And so
Hell, that just worked out
within
right.
that, I also invite people. He's a extreme entertainer and owned a little bar in Nashville called Whiskey Rhythm Saloon for about 3 years. And that's how we met. And just a lover of life and music. And so this summer there will be lots of friend times and throwdowns, and we do a lot of writers around. I mean, just writing stuff out there. But
Yeah.
thought it'd be cool to do like a writers retreat or writers round.
Hell
and-
yeah.
I see. I wouldn't be no good at that.
What?
Writing.
Right. Well, I think.
I can come up with like a chorus every now and then,
Yeah.
or I can come up with a hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the whole front part and the ending part,
Yeah.
I just ain't worth the crap.
Everybody's a one-liner stunner,
Right.
I got a one-liner. You hear those people run around Nashville. I can write them one-liner, and you're like, well,
Oh,
Yeah,
I had a
bring the
whole
rest of it
I had a
too.
whole thing wrote about, because I was raised in Nashville,
yeah,
but my dad every weekend he had friends that had farms. Mm-hmm. So every freaking weekend we had to go out to the farm. We did the chores, done everything that needed to be done, and then if we got done in time, I got to ride the dirt bike. So shit got done quick.
that's right. That's right. Learn how to work hard and fast.
Yeah. And there was a barn on the property. And of course, there was a girl about my age also. And first kiss, first holding hands.
That's a country song.
That's big.
First time I got kicked by a cow was behind that barn. I mean, just all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of firsts.
Yeah.
It was like that barn and everything around that barn created a lot of my character and who I am today. And I wrote a bunch of stuff about it and tried to put a tune to it, but it kept going to somebody else's tune.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's hard when you're writing
Yeah.
to not like
It's
copy something. Like
so
sometimes
hard.
you do
Yeah.
it like subconsciously because you just somewhere there's a melody back there and you're like, man, I really like this. Why do I like this? Oh wait, it's that song. Like you have
Yeah,
to like be
it's like,
careful about that.
Okay, this is catchy. I got it. Yeah, here we go. Damn, that's Tim McGraw. What the hell?
Yeah, right.
Yep. It's true. It's true. It's so
It's
hard to
hard.
create something new and authentic, but
Yeah. There's only so many chords though.
there are only so many
Like,
chords. But also, yeah,
It's how you formulate
it is.
that.
Yeah.
It is. And it's like I've done that too, where I've started something and I'm like, oh, this sounds just like this. And somebody's like, no, it doesn't at all. And I was like, oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, you're
that's-
like, okay, well, let's
thank
go with
goodness.
it. Like, it did in my head. Like,
I don't want to get into that Vanilla Ice thing. I just changed one chord, you know.
Yeah.
Ding,
Oh, yeah.
ding, 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 ding. So,
Ice, baby.
but it wasn't the same song.
Dum, 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 dum.
I know. It's good though.
Boom, boom.
That song.
Under pressure.
That song.
It's the same damn song. Under pressure and Ice, baby.
it's like Ed Sheeran's thing that he just went through.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You know,
He
look,
won that fight.
He did.
he won the
and
fight.
They, and they bow and he like there was a very nice rep like at the end, you know,
Yeah.
understood. Da, 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 but he
Money
was like,
changed hands. I don't care what you say.
You know,
Somebody greased somebody.
that's how did you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of things to say, but sometimes I zip my mouth closed because I've learned in my life.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you don't say it.
Silence is just as powerful as all the words in the world.
And that's the sound of silence. Which version you like better?
Dun 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 dun. Honestly, I can't answer that.
You can't answer that?
Can't. What about you?
I like the Simon and Garfunkel, but I feel Disturbed made it more emotional, more
Yes.
deeper.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Because I mean, I always want to pay homage to the OG, but that was
David Drummond's voice on that, oh my God.
yeah. I mean, people that have never heard of him in his life, you know, in their lives,
Yeah.
like, you know, ended up loving that song because he covered it.
Yeah.
And I think that says a lot about the ability of an artist to reach outside of their, you know, comfort zone to cover it. And I think that's the hardest thing is to cover things.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier.
Well,
it's easier to write original music. It's hard to take something and either completely mimic it or completely make it
Your own.
Yeah.
authentic.
Well, see, that's what I loved about them because they really recreated the whole song.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And that's so hard to me.
Yeah.
Because when something's already burned in your brain, to hear something else, like that's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. But
Yeah. I loved it.
it was.
Johnny Cash did that with, what was it, Hurt?
Mm-hmm.
That song that he did.
Yep.
What is it, 9 Inch Nails
Yep.
that did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
His version is
Just
so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing how you.
I've always been a Man in Black kind of guy.
I
You know?
love Johnny Cash. I named my guitar Cash.
Cash.
after Johnny.
Well, see, that was always my favorite poster of him when he got pissed off at the Nashville bigwigs and all that other stuff back there in the day.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
That's like just the iconic picture.
Dude.
Absolutely.
Dude.
I had that on my wall before a lot of other people did.
Yes. You know, it's like, I mean, that's that beauty of Austin, Texas. That's pretty much
That's how they live.
Oh, yeah.
like that is the entire essence of Austin, Texas,
Yeah.
like to Tennessee, you know, and or just like, and that's what I truly loved about that city, the ability to just, you know, zero shits given. Zero shits.
Well, see, that was one thing that really intrigued me about the podcasting and the YouTube channel and all that stuff. Nobody freaking owns me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just do what you want.
You know, you want to sponsor? That's fine. I'll read your contract, but I'm gonna change it. And if you don't like the way I change it, I don't need it. I don't care.
I mean, there's beauty in the ability to be able to say, you know, when I'm ready to walk away, I get to walk, or when when I'm ready to do this, I get to do this. Like, I mean, I remember watching Taylor Swift's interview or her like autobiography, and it was just like, she was like, in 2 years, I know what I will be doing. Like in 2 years, we've already booked this arena. And I was just like, oh God, like, no, like, that, yeah, that's cool to be so adored. But to not own yourself, to own your career, to own your music, to own your life.
Yeah.
To think that I know what's best for me, that I know what's going to happen in my life in 2 years,
Yeah.
whether you believe in God or not, or whatever the divine intervention, like 2 years, like, holy moly, I want to be able to make my own decisions and run my own life. And
That's what I do.
And you just, you don't get to do that when, a lot of times when you're signed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not mentioning any names, but I have had a person come to me and tell me that they could do so much more for me. And that's when I stopped him. And I said, but take yours and walk that way.
Yeah.
And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, look, dude, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to change what I'm doing, you're wanting to change my format, you're wanting to change my conversations, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I feel this is what people need right now. Freedom of expression, a good conversation. That's what people crave.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And now the fans that you two had, they know you better now. And what's that make them?
Friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They connect.
100%.
I think it's definitely
100%.
important to just be like super authentic and just, like you said, like that but is when you were like, yeah no. And like, I run into that a lot. I'm sure you have too, and I think a lot of artists do, where they're like, man, you're so good, but if we could just do this. And I'm like, but you're trying to change exactly what people love about me.
And you just told me I'm so good.
Like, yeah. So what exactly are we trying to change? If I'm so good, why are you trying to do that? Like, I can't tell you the number of meetings I've had. Well, if you would just do this, I'm like, that's not me. Why would I do something that's not me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would sit there and be miserable because I'm not doing what feels right to me. And like,
Yeah. And those boots you had on Saturday night were totally you.
Totally.
oh,
I love it.
Have you seen her boots?
And which ones?
They're
The
my
silver,
sparklies.
the diamonds. Did
The
you? I think you wore
sparklies.
those.
I've worn them a few times.
Yeah, I saw them. I was like, that's my girl
They're
right
perfect
there.
for the stage.
That's my girl right there.
They shine.
See, I see her wear more like moccasin boots.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
because like I have those, but like I love like my brown snake skins like boots. I've got a lot of black just boots, and like so like I can go from one extreme to the next, but I just love shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a shoe fetish now.
I do.
Okay.
Like majority of my wardrobe is just all black. But like
Okay.
when we get to the shoes, like it's one extreme to the next. Like because I just love
Okay, everybody hear that out there? Taylor has a shoe fetish, and you can send any kind of samples of shoes to.
Yes. you say that, but like
We like steel toe, snip toe, and
yeah, like
Durango.
hell yeah, like,
All the O's.
oh man. Well, it's funny because like you say that, but like I've had fans that I told, we were talking about this earlier, that have become like family, and like if I have a show around my birthday, I'm like, all right, it's a birthday bash, and they bring that leather jacket I had on Saturday night. A fan bought me that.
Gosh.
Awesome.
The earrings I had on, a fan bought that for me and brought it to my show. Every time my birthday rolls around, I usually play like a hometown show, and people are bringing up presents and putting them in my guitar case where I'm taking tips. and bringing cake
That's
and cupcakes
amazing.
and stuff. And I'm like,
Was the cake
damn,
moist?
I should.
That-
It was But it's just like things like that. I think it's really cool when like I don't think they would have done something like that for me if I didn't connect with them on like a real level and like just get to know them. They get to know me. Like I'm putting on a show because I'm singing, but like I'm not pretending to be something I'm not.
Yeah.
And I had a fan come up to me on Saturday night after I got off stage and was like, "You sing from your soul.
You do.
You sing from your gut." He was like, and people can feel it. Like you're not just singing to sing because you're getting paid or because you're, whatever it may be. Like you sing because it's literally who you are.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest compliments you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Someone notices that and they connect with that. So I was like, "You're gonna make me cry." It's just like it's such a huge compliment. Yeah.
I cry often. Like, God, people are just, the things that people do, the generosity, that people bring, and you just don't expect it. It's overwhelming. I think for me, it's like, because when we do our shows, we do, a good bit of covers and then originals or whatnot. And it's always nerve wracking when you throw them in there because, people love covers, but you don't know how they're going to be with your originals.
Yeah.
And especially when it's all going and it's upbeat and, to come off the stage and to have people just come up to you and be like, man, like I love your singing and how you do these covers, but like your originals, and I don't even like country music. And I'm like,
I get that.
That's my favorite. Like,
I'm
that's
not a
my
country
favorite.
fan. And then I heard you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I get told all the time I'm not a country artist. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why you like me.
Oh, she's country as hell.
I mean, and it's funny. It's like, because I'm ebbing and flowing, but my original album, is definitely super country and it's definitely my foundation. And then to be able to kind of grow like with your fan base.
Yeah.
But I think that's also, it's really important to select the covers that represent you as well. And so you can own them and people come up to you and say, Angel from Montgomery, John Prine, Susan Tedeschi, and and Bonnie Ray. You're now Hannah Wright's my fourth favorite, and I was just like, bam, like
It's crazy.
mind blown.
It's funny that you
And I'm a-
Susan Tedeschi.
Yeah.
Like those are like bands and stuff that I cover too. But my husband is a huge Tedeschi Trucks fan, and like now I am too. And he says all the time, he's like, "You remind me of Susan."
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's so
he's like,
sweet.
I know. I'm
though.
like, damn. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
a compliment.
need diamonds. I just
Like,
need you to tell me.
Was
I
that
sound
before or
like
after he
Susan.
asked you to marry him?
No, we were already married.
Okay.
I was about to say because that would have gotten me.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like her and I, we are country artists, but we go into that southern rock and
Yeah.
it's just fun.
Yeah, it is.
I think
Blues
it's the
and-
soul too.
Yeah,
like,
the soul and like Drew always says, "You're a blues artist, Taylor.
Yeah.
You're not a country artist." I'm like, I'm a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything. I know my thing is like I just can't I can't sing about things that don't matter. Like
Yeah.
I can't, even if it's a drinking song, like there's got to be some
There
substance.
has to be, you gotta
There's
have.
got to be.
You have to connect with it. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like when I do cover songs and stuff. There is a reason why I'm doing that cover song. And so like when someone asks for like something that I
Yeah.
don't do, I'm like,
No,
I'm not I'm not a jukebox.
I'm not a. I
And,
set this to entertain you, so you can get the most out of
like,
your evening.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not gonna do that. Do I look or sound like you've been listening to me an hour? Do you really think I do that kind of song? Like, don't ask me to do a Taylor Swift
Just because
song.
you want a Journey song doesn't mean
Well,
right?
just because you don't want to stop believing.
Oh man, but it's funny like when we pick these songs that we cover and stuff, and a compliment that I get a lot from fans that truly means a lot to me is I take covers and I make them my own. They don't sound like I'm just trying to copy somebody, and I'm like, well, I don't really know any other way to do it. Like I'm not trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
or when you do interviews, well, who would you compare yourself to? I'm like, I wouldn't compare myself to anybody because
I
there's
freaking
only
would never ask that question.
Thank you.
yeah
I
the
hate that
amount of people
question.
that ask that, and I'm like,
Who
well,
are your influences?
Like I could tell you who
been
I
alive for a long
love
time.
and like who like influences me, but I don't try to be somebody else, and I don't sound like anybody else.
No.
And
Oh, you got your own sound, girlfriend.
and it's just like I think that's what you have to like as an artist. You want that. You don't want to sound. You don't want to be a copy of somebody. There's already one of them. It's like that Dr. Seuss saying. Like I can't remember it word for word, but like.
Oh gosh.
You know,
I don't know.
there's only one of you and like kind of thing. Like, well, yeah, why would I want to be somebody else? Like everyone knows I am a diehard Miranda Lambert fan.
Oh yeah, same.
Do I want to have the kind of career she has? Absolutely. But I don't want to be her. I don't want to sound like her.
Well, see, that's something I've always wondered about, because a lot of people, they want to be like a certain person, or they want to have that level, you know?
Yeah.
And I've seen it from all levels, you know, just being in the sound and the lights and all that stuff. And I've seen it. And the happiest I've ever seen a musician, a singer-songwriter, or an artist, it ain't at that top level, I can tell you.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It is
There's a lot of stress. It doesn't get like, no matter what level you're at, like there's always stress and stuff. But like the bigger you are, the more problems there are. The more it's like the more money you have, the more problems you have.
I think. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I tell everybody, get to the level that fits you best.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
If I make $1 million at this, I won't look like $1 million. I'm at the level that suits me best. I am me.
Yeah.
No filter, no bullshit.
Right.
Yep.
It's just me.
Yep.
Yeah.
People tell me how to do my show, and I don't listen.
Yep.
You just gotta do what you want to do.
Well, that's I think when I moved back, I remembered why I left Nashville in the first place, because and a lot of it is, you know, you have to control what you allow to come in, like what you allow, you know, people to
You've
change
got
their own
to.
narrative. You have to. And I just remember coming back in, you know, wiser and smarter, but still, you know, still wanting to do bigger and better things. And I just remember somebody saying, you know, all right, well, you gotta do this. You gotta, you know, record a lot of singles, release them every 2 to 3 months, get on social media, do the TikTok, this, that, and that, da, 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 da. And I just looked at them and was just like, well, I guess that's just not going to be me. You know, I guess that's not going to be my trajectory, because that's completely inauthentic. And I've tried it, and it just takes away so much of your soul. Like,
Oh yeah, it
to
does.
do something that's inauthentic. But you know, Maren Morris just I had heard this other song, you know, the other day, and you know, she's not hitting the charts like she used to, but she's still making music. And I think that's very important for people to realize. You know, I think it's called Circles Around This Town, but you know, there's a line in it that said, you know, I thought when I got to where I ended up that it would be, you know, kind of like a different view, but I'm still riding circles around this town, you know, like I'm still like, you're never going to get to where you're going if you think that there's an end destination, and you don't enjoy the ride.
Oh, you got to enjoy the
You
ride.
got to enjoy the ride.
It's like I tell everybody before they come on the show, this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Don't make it hard.
No.
Don't make me follow freaking Q&A bullshit.
Now ask
me
me
who
this
you
and
are.
ask this and don't ask me this. So like,
Yeah.
All these right here are nothing but bullet points.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Yeah.
I've always liked doing interviews where like everything was just very like laid back and we might not even be talking about music. We're just having a good time. Like,
You know, I think 35% we've actually talked about music.
right.
Maybe.
A
about all
little
kinds of
bit
stuff.
about how fabulous your hair is when it's not straight.
We're just waiting.
Why there's no air conditioners down in the under the wheel anymore.
It's important information.
There you go.
Important information.
See, you got to learn, you got to laugh,
You got to.
and you got to love who you are.
You do. You do. I think that's what I always, you know, look at now is that every single person that ever made it somewhere important didn't do it by mimicking somebody else. They do it, you know, Lainey Wilson, that is Lainey Wilson, you know, like there's there's no other like her. There's not going to be anybody else. And she says it best, you know, like, I'm already taken. This one's already, you know, you gotta do your own thing. And so at the end of the day, like, you just, you know, you got to be you, because you're not going to make it up to the top any other way. And the top is not fame and fortune. The top is
I'll
peace.
tell you something somebody told me, and it rings true in every aspect of life. The top is a damn lonely place.
It's real lonely. That peak that only one or two people can sit up at. It's not that fun. It's not all it's cracked up to be.
I don't want that peak. I don't want that peak at all. What I want is I want to be happy, be comfortable. Maybe one day find the woman of my dreams. You know, country with a Jeep and all that good stuff. But anyway.
Well, I have a friend.
As my brother would say, be careful what you ask for.
I know, right? So it's just, I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
Just a happy. You know,
It. And it's simple. It's, you know, I think we think there's this massive equation of
we make it way harder than it's supposed to be.
especially women.
I am very
We
like
make it.
okay, look, we're not getting into pearl conversations.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. But you're right. It's not that hard to be happy, but at the same time, it seems like it is. So,
I think people make themselves more miserable than what they need to be.
oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Too much overthinking.
Oh,
I am the queen
Preach.
of overthinking.
Too much social media.
do not
God,
leave
I
myself
hate,
with myself for too long. But yeah.
Bring back the days of some moccasins, a loincloth, and a damn pond.
Don't think I won't go back to the Native American.
Hey, there you go.
I'm still healing from I think poison sumac. So that's what I get for scaling those daggum river walls.
I got to tell y'all this, and both of you gonna have the same reaction. I know you are. Thomas Marino, the guy that helps me with the show sometimes with getting guests on and stuff, he handles all the movie stuff, the independent artist, and on all the movie side, the indie side.
Yeah.
Am I on the right? Yeah, I'm on the right camera. Him and his friend Amy, she asked him to help her around some land that she owns. So he was like, I ain't doing nothing anyway. So he went and he helped her out. They're not dating or nothing. They're just good friends. He gets out there. He has no clue what poison oak looks like.
Oh no. Oh no.
But there's this vine stuff growing up around these trees, and they're going to cut it off at the base and pull it down.
Oh God.
And when he pulled it down, he said it was like spores just fell all over him.
Oh no.
And he is ate the hell up.
Oh.
Has he got it now, or
He's coming off
he's
of
coming
it.
out- oh,
He's
God.
on the back end of
I
it.
had to go get his little Z-Pack.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, I'd never had it before. My brother gets it all the time. But he's a hunter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he goes. But I
My
was like,
dad
as
is
much
like-
as I played in the woods, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had never gotten it before, and I said that ain't no joke.
Well, my dad was highly allergic to it.
So was my dad.
And and that's just some
But
people
me and
just
my mother could literally go out there, poison ivy, poison oak, pull it off by hand, and not nothing.
Yeah.
See, I've never been around it because my dad is highly allergic, and I
knows what to look for
Yeah,
and-
so he's like, you tend to take after me in everything, so
Yeah.
don't. It's like I've just never been like, I'm not touching that because who knows? I'm gonna puff up. Like,
Oh yeah. But he got that stuff everywhere. He showed me some pictures, and
Oh my
his arms are just tore up.
dude.
And I just had to say, Thomas, did it go anywhere else?
oh no.
That's I think the worst thing about it is like it can just start on your leg, but if you touch it and you do anything, you like just go to the bathroom because you don't know what's on. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's
What is
messed up.
that
Oh my
stuff
God.
that you put on it that's like pink and like supposed to help some-
Calamine.
Yeah,
Calamine lotion.
Yeah.
The amount of times that my dad has had that just
Girl.
all over him, and he's like, I'm itching.
Girl.
Like,
All right, girlfriends.
Yeah.
Here's the guessing game.
a guessing game. We're playing a game.
Survey.
How long do you think we've been on there?
2 hours.
2 hours,
And
15 minutes.
Damn, 17.
Ooh,
Look at
look
you.
at us. We have made some dents.
I know, right?
Well, that's what happens when you're having a good time. It just flies by.
Yep.
Whiskey's out
Whiskey,
again.
yeah, I was about to say whiskey makes
I can't
that happen
toast
too.
to you. It's out again.
I'm out.
I got a hole in my
I got a little
in the
a little
bottom of
bit.
my whatever.
You can have some of
Kelsey
mine.
Ballot. Girl, you just so
There's a hole
I know, right?
in the bottle.
drinking all this wine.
Yeehaw. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to get out of here.
Cheers
Cheers, y'all.
to you, David.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to get out of here, y'all. Miss Taylor,
Yes.
tell everybody where they can find you.
Absolutely. Y'all can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Taylor Hughes Music, or you can check me out on my website, which is taylorhughesmusic.com, where you can find music and all the socials.
All the socials.
All the socials.
And the place to send the boots,
Oh,
shoes.
contact
P.O.
me.
box.
Yeah, P.O. box. You just send me a private DM and we'll figure that out.
That's
later.
right.
There
Just
you
look at my
go.
tour schedule. I'll
Yeah,
see
we
y'all.
can bring them to
You
a
got
show.
it.
Yes, bring them to a live show so we can meet.
There you go. Miss Hannah, tell everybody where they can find you.
Let's see. I would say HannahWrightOfficial.com is going to have most of the information, send you where you need to go. And then it's at Hannah Wright Music on Instagram. And I believe it's the Hannah Wright on Facebook. But, you know, it's always some different stuff. But we'll be out there. We got some tour stuff coming in the end of the year, closer to the middle. So come see us.
Sounds good. All right, y'all. Y'all pay attention to everything. Check these ladies out. I'm going to tell you straight up, they're down to earth, they're wholesome, and they put together some damn good music. So y'all check them out. And I'm going to go through this again. I'm going to keep doing this. Hopefully everybody will listen to me and they will actually start doing this. Please, for the sake of the artist, help out your favorite artist. Help me out, for Christ's sakes. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. This is the reason why I'm telling you to do this, is because when these people, you're sitting there and you're going, hey, Hannah, can you come to my city? Or, hey, Taylor, can you play my city? The booking agent in that city is going to pull them up, look at their subscribers, how many followers they have, and if it's not a certain number, Hannah or Taylor possibly will not be at your city. They will have to go through a different avenue to try to get there. So help out your favorite artist. Do everything you can. If you like whatever the hell I'm doing, like, share, subscribe. All right, y'all. We appreciate it. Follow us. Have all kinds of fun. Be safe tonight. And I'm going to get a couple of hugs from some pretty ladies, and we're going to get the hell out of here. We'll see you. Bye.